Welcome to Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. We gotta stop this shit. Think about this. Gotta stop this shit. You know. Open your mind. We gotta stop this shit. Open your mind. Gotta stop this shit. You know. Dark Exodus. Yeah. Peace, folks. And welcome back to another edition
of the Proper Thought series right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. And tonight, y'all, it's going down, of course, because my man, Dr. Umar Johnson, is going to be in the house live and direct right here on the TPOT YouTube page. Now, the last time the doc was here, we had some phone snafus and shit was messing up, but we done fixed all that shit. So ain't gonna be none of that bullshit tonight. I just spoke to the doc a little while ago. He should be calling in about 5 or 10 minutes. But like I always do in the beginning of the show, I always thank all of you, my supporters, my donators. Y'all know who y'all are, because whenever you donate to me, I always hit you back with a personal email thanking you and talking shit to you at the same time. So I appreciate y'all, and I always start like this because the way y'all support this channel, man, is just crazy, man. I can't believe the way y'all support this channel. It's crazy, you know, and I'm not just talking about your coins. Okay, your coins are nice, all right, because you work hard for your money and you, and you choose to spend them here. It is appreciated. It is. But that's not the most important thing. I mean, y'all support me with your subscriptions, with your views, with your comments, sharing the videos, and showing up to these damn things every damn week, no matter what, religiously. So many of y'all, some of y'all show up so much, man, that I just know all of y'all by name, man. I know all of y'all by name. I know your avatar, all of that shit. I do, you know, so I appreciate it. I know I say it every time we start. And like I always say, I don't say it to kiss your butts. Because if you've been following the Proper Thought series, y'all know that X don't kiss no butt. I say it because that's what I really think. And I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm grateful. And I am appreciative of all of your support, whether it be your coins, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, all of that. I appreciate it. And I just want y'all to know that. But let's get on with it. Like I said, the doc is in tonight. He's going to be coming in. He's going to be taking some questions. My moderators, I need y'all on y'all P's and Q's tonight. I do. Because anybody coming here saying something stupid, don't time them out. Don't do none of that shit. Just block their asses. That's it. Okay? One thing, they talking shit to me. Okay? But I don't allow my guests to be disrespected, especially when it's somebody like Dr. Umar Johnson. All right. So y'all got to be on y'all P's and Q's. Anybody coming here saying something dumb, just go ahead and block their asses. All right. Let them go off and make another Google account and say something else stupid so they can come back and get blocked up again. That's all. We ain't playing that shit tonight. Tonight it's going to be a call-in show. You actually can call in and talk to Dr. Umar if that's what you want to do. I will be putting the number up momentarily. I'm just waiting for the doc to come through. That is all. And I just found out, because he just told me that he gonna be in the Queen City in July. And of course, he wants us, the old TPOT team, to come through. So I will probably go there. I don't know, probably film a little bit. I'm gonna try to interview the doc if I can, and all of that. So be looking out for that as well. Like I said, but tonight I just want my mods to be on their P's and Q's, because I don't want nobody in my chat room saying stupid shit. All right. I don't want them saying stupid shit to the doc, about the doc, none of that shit. All right. Because see, I'm gonna try not to monitor. I'm not gonna be monitoring the chat room like that, y'all. So what y'all gotta do is y'all gotta make sure nobody come in here and say no shit disrespectful. I mean, if they disagree, that's one thing. But if they say some disrespectful shit, they out. No timeout, no nothing. Straight block it. We don't do timeouts here, y'all. All right. Some of you who've been following me a while, y'all know we don't do timeout on TPOT. We just straight block. That's what we do. You want to talk stupid in the chat room, you're blocked. That's it. No timeout. You're out of there. You got to go make another account and try to come back. And when you come back, you better come back with some sense, because if you come back talking stupid again, you get blocked again. That's how we play it here. All right. That is how we play it here. Right? No fucking around. You got time for these dumbass Negroes. All right? I don't have time for dumb ass Negroes or dumb ass shit. All right? Y'all can go to the other channels and do that nonsense. All right? Here, it will not be tolerated. All right? All right. So, anyway, I'm waiting for the doc to get back to me right now. Well, actually, I'm waiting for him to call in. So I know, see, I know he got the call-in number. I did give him the call-in number. Go ahead and hit him up right now. You doing? Yeah. Those of you who are familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson, y'all know that he just got the school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. He actually taped a segment that was in there. If you was watching the promo, you see I stole a piece of his shit and put it on my video. So y'all already know what it is. The doc, I guess he's going to be talking about it, and like I said, you're going to be able to ask some questions. Like I said, I'm gonna put the call-in number as soon as the doc comes in, because I want him to come in and talk. You know, me and him, we're gonna shoot the shit, because full disclosure, me and the doc, we actually have a decent rapport. You know, it's not like it's my first time meeting him or interviewing him or nothing like that. This is like time number 4 or 5 that I've interviewed him and spoke with him and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we kind of, you know, we talk back and forth through text and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the doc. So this is nothing new for me or him. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting them on here though, because it's been a minute. And like I said, the last time the doc was on, shit was messing up. But damn phone lines was fucking up and shit was cutting off, and I had to take it and redub it and do all this kind of nonsense, you know. Peace. I see you up there, brother Danubian. What's good, brother? Yeah, so last time it was screwing up, messing up. So we fixed all of that. I have updated the system. We ready to rock and roll. Ain't gonna be no screw ups. Ain't gonna be no mess ups. Ain't gonna be none of that. So it's on. Yeah, it's on. It is on. So let me go ahead and make sure all the phone lines and shit is doing what they supposed to do. Yeah, everything is everything. We're just waiting for the doc to get up in here. I don't know what he's doing. We've been talking all day. I don't know what the doc is doing. I just spoke to him a little while ago, like not even like an hour ago, not even. And I think he's gonna stay. I don't know if he's gonna stay the whole show, y'all. He said he may only be able to stay like an hour or something. So I don't know. I don't know. Still see the phone ain't lit up yet. What's going on, Doc? He ain't even responded to my text yet, y'all. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Peace, big bro Gab. What's going on, man? I see you up there, brother. You're sitting here waiting on the doc to come through. I just got finished talking to him. I don't know what the hell happened. So in the meantime, being that the doc is dragging a little bit, let me go and see who's up in here. Who's up in here? I see my wife up in here. I see KIT. What's good, brother? Keep it techie. I see you. Lady Poetic, what's good? Brother Little Rock, what's good? Lady Rain, what's good? The good doctor, what's good? Lady Poetic, what's good? Brother the Nubians in the house. And that's it. That was quick. Oh, God. I don't know what the hell is going on with the doc, but well, until he get right, because I know he's gonna call in. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's on the phone with somebody else. I don't know. But the thing about the doc, now, those of you who have followed the Popular Thought series for a while, y'all already know that me and the doc is all right? So I have always defended the doctor. I've always defended Dr. Umar. I've always defended him. And I've told him this to his face. I've always defended him, but I have doubted him. I've doubted him. But one thing I've always said about the doctor is that I always thought that he believed what he was saying as far as the school was going on. All right. I always believed that he believed what he was saying. So I always defended him. I mean, I even donated to his cause. I mean, you know, and it's been a few years. I mean, because I met him 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago is when I first met him, when I actually talked to him, shook his hand. I mean, I had watched his stuff on media and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, far as, you know, having a conversation with the man and interviewing the man and all that, that was the first time, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I believed him then. I mean, and one thing about the doc, man, he does a good show, man. I mean, I went to his seminar, and let me tell you something. The doc tore the roof off of that shit, man. And believe it or not, man, whatever you see, and I can tell y'all this, and I'm pretty sure other people out there who have met him will agree that he's actually a really personable kind of brother, man. I mean, he really is. I mean, you know, me and him, we shot the shit, you know, out there, you know, that, you know, so he's a really personable kind of brother, man. If you know, you sit and you talk to him and bullshit with him. I mean, he's a personable kind of brother, man. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad shit out there, okay, about him. All right. And it's not like I'm caping for him or no shit like that, but the doc gets a lot of bad press. You know, he gets a lot of bad press, you know, I guess because he's a brother that actually talks about doing things for black people, you know, that stuff that we always talking about, you know, doing shit for black society. And the doc is actually out there trying to do it. I mean, this has always been like his mission, to try to do this thing, you know, get this school, get black boys in there, teach black stuff, teach African stuff. This has been what he's been talking about for years. Okay, his message has been consistent about it for years. All right. So that being said, if nothing else, Dr. Umar is consistent. All right. And like I said, the brother gets a lot of bad press, and a lot of the shit is BS, man. You know, a lot of the shit can be easily disproven. You know what I'm saying? It can be easily disproven. And I don't just say that because I know the brother. I don't just say it because of that. I say it because of a lot of the shit that I see, I know is patently untrue. It's patently untrue. But people say it anyway. Yeah, they say it anyway. Because, you know, a lot of us, you know, we just talk because we got lips. All right. That's our only reason for speaking, because we have lips on our face. So, I mean, a lot of the stuff, man, that I hear about the doc, man, I know it's untrue. I know it is. I just know it is. All right. It's just straight bull. All right. And what's good, Black First? What's going on, man? You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff, man, that I hear about him, man, are just straight nonsense, man. Just straight nonsense, you know. And he's had to he's had to tailor a lot of his messages, man, because of the bad press that he gets, man. He's had to tailor a lot of his messages, man, and it's really sad, man, that it has to be that way. Because I can think of like 100 different people who are doing a lot worse things to Black society than Dr. Umar. I mean, I can think of like 20 shit. I can think of probably 200 different people. What's good, brother Tony? I see you up there. Yeah, I can think of plenty of people who are doing more detriment to Black society than Dr. Umar. I mean, and I've said that many times before. You know, it often seems like, you know, when you get people who are actually making an effort to try to do something, you always have these naysayers who want to tear them down at every juncture. You have these naysayers who want to say shit about them that is not true. You have these naysayers who not only make up shit, all right, they make up shit and then add shit to it. On top of the fantasy that they've created, they make up some other shit, you know, I guess to make the story hotter, to make the story seem more believable and more sensational. So, I mean, it's just crazy, man. And me, I've never went that way. All right, I've never went that way, and I go by what I see. I think the doc is in peace, Dr. Johnson.
Umar Johnson.
Doc, that's you?
Yes, sir.
Good, peace, Doc. What's going on?
All is well, all is well. How are you, brother?
I'm good. People out there in YouTube land, if you can hear the doc, put one in the chat room if you can hear them. Because if not, I can go ahead and just EQ the sound a little better. If you can hear the doc, put a 1 in the chat room. Come on, folks. Hold up, Doc. Let me see if they can hear you out there. If not, I have to mess with my mix board a little bit. Nobody's saying anything. If you can hear the doc, put 1 in the chat room, please. Hello, folks out there. Can you hear? Doctor, I see a 1. All right. I see a 1. I guess they can hear the doc. Not clear. Okay. But y'all can hear him, right? Y'all can hear him? It sounds a little muffled. Well, y'all should be able to hear him better now. Well, I'm glad you came on, Doc. I've been waiting to hear you talk about F.D.M.G. I stole a piece of your video and put it on my promo. I hope you don't mind.
No problem.
Okay. So, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about it, man, before I get into my questioning and hitting up the audience and all that.
Okay, a little bit about what in particular, good brother?
F.D.M.G, like, I mean, how you came about
yes,
it.
Sir, yes, sir. Well, let me first say this. Since you are based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, I want to let the good family know that Dr. Umar Johnson, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, will be coming back to Charlotte for the first time since February of 2015. So it's been 4 long years. I will be in Charlotte on Saturday, July the 6th at the Carol Hoffner Center, if I'm saying that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an 8 p.m. program. And the doors open up at 7 p.m. on Saturday, July the 6th. For more information, they can email info@aken, A-K-E-N, info@akenentertainmentgroup.com. info@akenentertainmentgroup.com. If anyone needs the flyer, they can text me or email me for it, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com, or they can text me for it, 215-989-9858. With regard to the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, we were very blessed this past February the 7th 7 days before my great ancestor Frederick Douglass's Earth Day, to have closed on a school in Wilmington, Delaware, a former Black-run charter school, which is now the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. We have 4 beautiful buildings, which includes 2 schools. We don't have 1 school, we have 2 schools. And so now that we've acquired the property outright, we're trying to raise money for the property to renovate it as well as pay the taxes, the real estate taxes, the annual taxes on the property. So we're asking folks to donate as much as they can. We need to renovate these buildings. They're 2 beautiful modern schools, not old. And we want to renovate them because the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy will not only be a school for our young men and ultimately our young women, but will also be the central organizing location for Black power in the Western Hemisphere, not just the United States, but the entire West and possibly the world, because we have a center, a campus where we can meet, we can strategize, we can hold all of our conferences, our events, our workshops, our seminars, our think tanks, our study groups. We can do it all within those 4 buildings. In the large school, which is the Frederick Douglass building, we have a large modern gymnasium where that can fit easily 1,000 people. On top of that, we got 16 classrooms, approximately 16 classrooms. We have a lunchroom. Then in the the Marcus Garvey building, which is the smaller of the 2, we have another 8 to 12 classrooms, another lunchroom in there. And then we have another small gym, which is a separate 3rd building. 2 gyms, 2 schools, and then we still have a 4th. And the only thing that stands between us and the beginning of our nation building efforts is to renovate those buildings so we can get our certificate of occupancy from the city and get started. It's nation time.
Full disclosure, because this ain't our first time, talking and dealing with each other and all that kind of stuff. And I told them, I said, well, I always believed that you believed what you were talking about. And I also told you the last time we spoke, I said, I have doubted you, Doc, but I always believed in you. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew you was going to get this school, man. I knew it. And, I'm coming down when you come out here too, Doc. You're going to see me out there on July 6th, man. I'm coming through. Can I get an interview, Doc, or what? Can I get an interview in July, man?
Yeah, we'll probably do the interview the day before. I plan to get in the day before, or we'll do it the morning after. I tend not to do interviews on the day of the lecture only because I'm kind of focused on that message for that day.
Okay.
But we can do it the evening prior or the morning after.
Works for me. Well, I'll hit you up and we'll set up something because I'm in the Queen City. So, I mean, wherever you need me to come or meet you or whatever, I'm there. All right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so now that you have it, okay, now that FDMG is there, when do you anticipate, the doors opening to start taking in students, start hiring teachers and faculty and staff? I know it's a long process, but when do you anticipate, all of this stuff happening?
I can't anticipate because we can't operate the school until the buildings have been renovated. So I can't put a date on that. It depends however long it takes for us to get the renovations done. The beauty of it is that the school is decentralized in 4 different buildings. And because we have 2 school buildings, what I probably will elect to do is focus on 1 for now, get that up and running, get the school up and running, and then once more monies are available, expand to the other building. That's the beauty of having the 2 schools versus 1. Maybe we'll go with the Marcus Garvey School building first to get started, and then when funds are where they need to be, expand into the Frederick Douglass building, which is the major building of the 2. If I had it my way, I would operate the Frederick Douglass building first because it has everything in it. Like if we only had that 1 building and we didn't have the other 3, we would still be in great shape. But because it is a very large school, okay, it's going to take more operating expense than the smaller school. So I've been meeting with contractors, different people. We're still brainstorming, but we're beginning the process of renovating the building now. But we're going to need more funding in order to complete it. But again, it's a modern school. It's not an old school. Very beautiful in the inside. Unfortunately, it was vandalized because the security system wasn't adequate. Had it not been vandalized, we probably wouldn't have it, because that school was built on $15 million. And that was only less than a decade ago. It's a very modern school. It was, they re-outfitted some existing homes and buildings in the neighborhood and turned it into a school. They used $15 million to do it. I mean, it is very modern. We don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. We don't have to worry about any of that. But because of the vandalism, the destruction of the water system, and they stole the sprinkler out the building, both sprinklers for each school. They stole, they ripped down the piping from the ceiling looking for copper. They ripped sinks and toilets off the walls. I mean, a lot of it was useless vandalism, to be honest with you, but they caused about $1 million worth of damage only to get a couple dollars in copper. And if you look at it, it'll make you want to cry, because you'll say this building was perfect. It was move-in ready. It was move-in ready, but God works in mysterious ways. And had it not been vandalized, there's no way in heaven we would have been able to get that school with the money that we had.
Wow. So, I mean, what, I know you need the renovations, but far as personnel goes, Doc, I mean, who are you looking for? Are you just looking for teachers? I mean, are you just looking for teachers?
Well, remember now, you're talking to a former school principal, so none of this is new to me. I'm a certified school principal. I've operated schools. I've been a principal and a vice principal. I've been on leadership teams. So none of this is new to me. It's new to a lot of people who don't know education, but it's not new to me. I mean, there's nothing difficult. There's nothing mysterious about what has to be done. It's a very straightforward process when you have the experience that I have with operating schools. So in terms of what I'm looking for, I know exactly what I'm looking for and what I need, but I'm looking for the best of what I need. And so that's why I'm letting folks know that they're interested in working at the school or volunteering at the school, because I have a lot of brothers and sisters who want to volunteer. They have their own businesses, they have their own careers, but they do want to come in a couple of times throughout the academic year and do different programs with the children. A lot of retired teachers, they want to give back as well. Some of them are going to be coaches for our teachers, which is going to be beautiful, because what that means is our young teachers, those who are young and even those who are experienced, they will be able to get expert coaching from conscious Black retired teachers who were there when the schools desegregated, who know what it means to really teach a child how to read. So we're going to have an expert staff. But at present, we have about 2,500 resumes that we have received already. Anyone who's interested in sending a resume, they can send it to F.D.M.G resumes with an S at gmail.com. They should include a cover letter telling us a little bit about themselves, as well as a picture of themselves. For the sisters, they will have to be natural if they're going to work at the school. They don't have to be natural at the time they send in a resume, so nothing will be held against them if their hair is not natural at this point. But when they show up for work, it will have to be. So we're going to take our time. We're going to go through all of the resumes. There will probably be a lot of video interviews, because there's no way you can interview 2,500 people. That'll take you about 5 years. We don't have that time. So there'll be a lot of interviews by video, and then we'll narrow that down. And then once we get to the people we really want, really have interest in, we'll bring them in for a physical interview, and then we'll decide who we're going to start with. But for those folks who are not selected, because there's no way you can hire 2,500, and by the time the school opens, it'll be about 5,000. There's no way you can interview that many people, and there's no way you can hire that many people. We can interview them, but we won't be able to hire that many people. So we're going to keep those resumes on hand, because this will not be the only Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We do plan to expand. And so those brothers and sisters who show an interest in the school, as we grow at this location and as we grow into other locations, there will be opportunities for them to join the staff.
So you said something a few minutes back. You said the women have to be natural to work at the school.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason why you want them to be natural, Doc?
Absolutely. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a Garveyite. I'm unapologetically African. There's no way that you can properly educate the next generation of soldiers and organizers and leaders while you yourself are trying to emulate your oppressor. That is an absolute contradiction. I know it happens in the Black consciousness movement a lot, but a lot of things happen in the Black consciousness movement because the Black consciousness movement is not filled with a lot of serious people. We just have a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of chit-chatters, a bunch of debaters, a bunch of documentary filmmakers, but there's no nation building, there's no organizing, and there's no institution building. That's what I'm about. As a Garveyite, we hold ourselves to a very high standard. Revolutionary Pan-African nationalists, we are a very serious people. And it's about more than YouTube, it's about more than videos. You know, so for us, you have to live what you teach. And there's no way you're going to stand in front of young men at my school, at the RBG International Leadership Academy, and think you're going to be imitating your oppressor and be serious about liberation. No way.
Okay. You hear that, ladies out there? You're listening. You go to work at FDMG, you got to leave the weave behind. Leave it behind.
And that means permanently behind. In other words, you can't be out at the mall on Sunday with a weave on. Students see you and their parents will see you. You know, same thing with the brothers. You can't be dating an alien. No brother working at the school can be married to or dating or living with an alien. No woman of another race. Your queen must be an African or you can't work at the school either. You know, so it goes for both. It goes for the men and the women. There can't be any contradictions in your personal life. There can be no contradiction with what we're standing for and what we're representing, because you are the leader, you are the role model. The children will try to emulate you. You know, so we got to be very serious about this, very, very serious. And I also want to say this for the brothers and sisters who have sent in the resumes, and I'm very, very fortunate to have received 2,500. I don't know too many places that get that amount, that much interest in any employment. I don't even know Fortune 500 companies that get those types of numbers of interested people. So I'm very, very gracious for that. But I'm hoping that everyone who sent in a resume for possible employment, that they also donated to the school. Because the first thing I'm going to check is our donation list to see whether or not you even donated to the school. Because that is an absolute, unacceptable thing to have somebody applying to work at the school, but I didn't care enough to donate any money to the acquisition or renovation of the school. So that doesn't mean they're going to be excluded outright, but clearly that will be a mark against you. You want to work at an institution that you didn't help to build. I would have a problem with that.
Oh.
And let me say this, for folks who haven't donated, donate now, because we need the funding for the renovation. I just deposited $4,500 in donations today, just $4,500 today. We got a long way to go, but we can get there. I mean, it took us 4.5 years to get this school, 4.5 years to raise $750,000. We don't have 4.5 years to renovate the school. So I'm going to say that outright. We need to get this done. We need to get it done now. There's no better place than the school that we have. So let's make it happen. Brothers and sisters can donate electronically through the Cash App. And that handle is F.D.M.G School. I repeat, $ F.D.M.G School. It is the Cash App handle. The full link is cash.me/$FDMG School. Cash.me/$FDMG School. If they want to mail in a check or money order, that's
so the renovations, let's talk about that for a little bit. Are you looking for, do you need carpenters? Do you need electricians? Do you need plumbers? Do you need that kind of help?
But let me qualify that. It's not hard to get any of those people. They've even been hitting me up. But what I'm looking for are carpenters, electricians, roofers, plumbers. Okay, those who know how to do HVAC and sprinkler systems. I'm looking for those who are willing to work with us financially. That's the holdup. You can't come in there and say we're going to charge you the corporate rate to redo your electrical system, the corporate rate to redo your plumbing, and none of these systems have to be totally redone, by the way. But we're going to charge you the corporate rate to do the roof and do the HVAC and do the sprinkler. We cannot afford that. So I'm looking for brothers and sisters who are coming with a revolutionary conscious mind, not a capitalist mind, not looking to exploit and rob from our boys, but who are looking to help. So I'm looking for brothers and sisters who will step in and say, listen, Doc, I'm an electrician. Okay, I can't do this for free, but I'm going to charge you cheaper than what I would normally charge someone, and I'm going to let you kind of pay this off. So give me this up front, and then give me this every month. It's going to take me about 6 months to get this job done. And if you can work with me like this, brother, I got you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not just looking for somebody to come in and say I can do the job. There's carpenters all through Delaware. There's plumbers all through Delaware and Philadelphia, because the school is only 25 minutes from my front door. It's 25 minutes from North Philly. So, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware is in Philadelphia's backyard. In fact, the school is closer to the Philadelphia airport than my. Right? So I don't have a problem with getting access to tradesmen and tradeswomen. I have a problem getting access to people who are going to work with us, recognize the challenge and the immediacy of the times that we're living in. There's an all-out war on Black boys. And I'm looking for people who are saying, this brother's donating his life, his time, his money to do this for our young men. Let me join in with him. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that a construction company, Black-owned, hasn't stepped forward. A contractor said, listen, with the type of support and following that you have around the world, for you to just advertise my business and say we renovated F.D.M.G, that's going to put me on a whole nother level. But a lot of our people don't think long term. We're so greedy for the dollar now. With my type of following and with my platform, I could give a business millions of dollars worth of marketing for free because of who I am and where I travel. I'm known on 7 continents. I'm supported on 7 continents. I'm the most requested Black scholar in the decade. So I want people to think with a visionary mind and say, listen, if this brother puts our construction logo up on his building, all 4 buildings, and on all his marketing, and say these are who came and donated to FDMG, maybe not for free, but at a discounted rate, do you know what that would do for that construction company? The whole world know who they were. So I'm looking for a company that can step in and do something like that for us. But in the meantime, we're going to get started with what we have. But, I stay faithful, brother. And I'm going to be honest with you. Acquiring this school has intensified my faith. I'm telling you it did, because we were getting the door slammed in our face everywhere we went. We should have been had a school, even with $750,000, which is not a lot of money for commercial property, but we should have been had a school. The problem was, once the realtors and owners found out who I was and what I was trying to do, they discontinued the communications. All of a sudden, properties that were available for sale were no longer available for sale. We should have had a school in Mount Vernon, New York. We should have had a school right here in Philadelphia. We should have had a school in Detroit, a school in Chicago, a school in Trenton, New Jersey. I could name about a dozen schools that we had the money for that we did not get just because we were Black. But I thank God, and I thank the ancestors who were in none of those schools, is because the Lord was waiting to give us this right here. Supreme Consciousness had this, because this school is better than all of the others. None of those, all those were one building, and they were all traditional looking schools. The old look, the old dusty church look, all of them. This is a modern looking school. 4 buildings in the Black community. What we got is way better than anything else. So I do think the universe are holding off until we got this blessing in Wilmington, Delaware.
Wow. Well, I already congratulate you.
Once we open, brother, I'm telling you, once we open, it's a wrap. Once we are open, it is a wrap. I can't wait to take brothers and sisters through that school and see it, man, because it is so beautiful. I mean, it's a walk in that gym, a modern gym with the bleachers, and see all of the different events we can have. Black Wall Street. I want to have a monthly Black Wall Street where we rotate different Black businesses around the country, and they come in, and you have 4 buildings filled up with Black businesses, vendor tables, marketing brochures, information, one-stop shop. So the whole Black community, the whole East Coast, the whole country know that on a certain day, everyone at the Marcus Garvey Academy, there is a Black Wall Street. There is a Occupy Black Entrepreneurs event, which means that the whole Black America can come to our school, not my school, but our school, and buy everything they need from everybody Black at the same time. Imagine that. Once a month, you can hold off on supporting the Europeans and the Arabs and the East Indians, and you can come to FDMG first Saturday of the month or last Sunday of the month, however we do it. You can get your Black lotion, your Black soap, your Black clothing, your Black all there. We can get everything we need, totally black owned, under the same roof at the same time. We're about to revolutionize America. The school is only the beginning. See, the school, and that's revolutionary, but that's just the beginning of what we're going to be able to do with the space that we have at FDMG.
Yeah, man. Well, I already congratulated you, when you first got it. When I saw the video, man, of you turning that key, I was like, damn, man, this is really happening.
You heard the haters, like they said. You heard the haters, they said that was a fake key, fake building. They said we didn't buy the school, that we didn't own the school, that I broke into the school and did a 30-minute video with a 3-piece suit on and snuck out before the police showed up after the alarms went off. They were
Yeah, well, you already know what that is, Doc.
It's all good. See, let me say this. The reason why there was some resistance and hate by some people, because I don't like to expand it and I don't like to exaggerate it, because 99% of the African people of the world, because I'm international, not local, they support and love Dr. Umar Johnson. If they wasn't, I wouldn't be who I am, and I definitely wouldn't get the amount of requests that I get. I got about 40 dates on my calendar already.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason the hate came is because other people in the conscious movement needed me to fail, not just for reasons of jealousy and envy, but because if I evolve from saving Black boys and helping Black parents to building an institution to properly educate the children, see, I've evolved from the scholar activist to the scholar institution builder. That was a leap that no one else had made in my age group in consciousness yet, not of this generation. So they needed me to fail because by succeeding, by us acquiring this building, it automatically raises the expectations of personalities in the conscious movement. And I say personalities because I would dare call them scholars. Most of them are not scholars, they just have an opinion, nothing more. No formal training, no research they've ever done, just an opinion on YouTube. So they're not scholars, they're not leaders either. They're not even activists because they don't do anything in the community. It's all YouTube and hustle strip. So they needed me to fail so they would never be expected to do more than just talk. So now that we have this school, and then once the school gets open, and once the organizing starts and the institution building begins, then people are going to look at them and say, wait a minute now. Dr. Umar got an institution. He speaks more than all of y'all. He's more busy than all of you. And he got an institution. Where's your institution, hustler? Where's your institution, con artist? Where's your institution, Mr. Documentary Maker? Where's your institution, Mr. Debate Holder? They're going to go around and they're going to start asking people, what are you doing for us besides making money off culture? What are you building for Black people? What are you changing for Black people? So they needed me to fail so that question would never get asked. But the question going to get asked now because we have succeeded. Separate the activists from the intellectual masturbators. Separate the nation builders from the con artists. Separate the institution developers from the race hustlers. It's time to separate.
Wow. So, I know it was rough all these years, listening to the naysayers, and I talked about this at the top of the hour, and it would seem that because we're all on media, we're always talking about, do this for Black folks, do that for Black folks. And when you have someone like yourself, Doc, actually doing it, actually out there on the ground talking about it, actually out there raising the money to make it happen, you would think that you would have more support because we're always talking about doing this, that, and the other thing for Black folks. But when you got somebody like a Dr. Umar literally out there doing the damn thing for Black folks, you can't get the support. What do you think is behind that?
Well, I couldn't say that I didn't get the support because, the donations were rolling in by the dozens every day. So from a quality perspective, we had the support. I had the support from a moral standpoint and from a numbers standpoint. So if you say, hey, who supports Dr. Umar, the hands are there, the numbers, but in terms of that consistent financial outpouring, that's where we're a little shaky. And I wouldn't personalize that towards me. That's just who we are as a people. I mean, look, you don't have an Africa town nowhere in Black America. You got a Chinatown everywhere. You got a little Italy everywhere. You got a Jewish community everywhere. You don't have a single place in Black America where we own the supermarket, the bank, the hospital, and the school, all in the same community. So I would personalize it to me. There's some point was without question there. Like this school is probably the first school in American African history where every country, every Black community on Earth contributed to the purchasing of F.D.M.G. I don't know of another institution, not just school, except Garvey. So it's been 100 years. It's been 100 years. I don't know of another institution since Garvey that we can point to and say, this right here was purchased by every Black community on the planet. Our donations came from Ghana, Australia, UK, Canada, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Haiti. The donations came from every state in the country. Like literally, when we say this is a Pan-African project, I think it was a Pan-African project. So I got the support. I guess probably we could say that it should have still been greater because of who I am and what I represent. And I think that's what you're getting at, and I agree with you. When you look at the fact that I'm the only certified school psychologist in America that teaches Black parents the secrets of miseducation. Like before me, they didn't know the learning disability was an opinion and not a fact. Before me, they didn't know ADHD was a hustle. You know what I mean? Before me, they didn't know all these parental rights. No psychologist ever broke it down like I did, including all my predecessors. Including, well, most of them were school psychologists anyway. They were clinical or counseling or whatever the case may be. But, you know, nobody ever did it the way that I did it, and no one has ever helped as many parents as I've done for free. So yes, it should have been much more than we should have had 10 schools over 4 years. When you look at my work, my track record, and not only that, the crisis that we're in. The crisis that we're in should have dictated that we should have been more successful than we have, but I don't want to overlook the mountains of support that I've gotten, brother. I got about 5 boxes of letters that accompanied the donations that we've received over these past 5 years. And it'll be 5 years this month because we began the fundraiser in April of 2014. We acquired the school in February. April of 2019 is 5 years later, son. And I need to find out the exact date because that's going to be a very significant day in F.D.M.G's calendar year. But this month, April, 5 years ago is when we started the process. And I'm telling you, brother, 5 boxes of letters, cards, from everybody, from grandparents to educators to lawyers to little children, even the babies. Everybody's treating me and it's hurting my mom. And I mean, brother, I got letters that will make you cry, man, and made me cry. And I'll be honest with you, what really has sustained me, not only through the 4.5 years of fundraising for F.D.M.G, not only through the 9 years of being on top of the conscious community, not only 20 years of being an activist for our people in the streets, but what has really sustained me has been those positive, inspiring, uplifting messages from complete strangers, brother. From complete strangers. Like, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I need to get this shit up and go and just go and get a regular psychology job and make $250,000 a year. Let me just fall back and do the bourgeois thing. But my soul won't let me do that. That goes against everything that I stand for, everything that I believe in. My ancestors wouldn't be happy with that, you know, but it has been these inspirational emails, inspirational text messages, out going my Facebook inbox, on my Instagram inbox, on my Twitter inbox. Or I'll open up the post office box and there'll be a beautiful card from an elder, a beautiful message from a brother saying, listen, you ain't just doing this for you, Doc. You're doing it for us. And even though you don't know, there's so many of us out here who rock with you. We just can't say it out loud because of where we are and what we do. I mean, brother, I've had elders just come up and hug me and say, listen, you have no idea. We've been waiting for you our whole life. We've been waiting for you. I've had an elder say, listen, I was there with Malcolm and I ain't seen nothing since Malcolm till you came. I remember my first lecture in Harlem, brother, October 30th, the night before Halloween of 2010. It's the second lecture I had that basically put me on top of this movie. First it was the Chicago interview, September 18th of 2010, and then 3 weeks later, 42 days later, I'm in Harlem at the National Black Theater, and an elder walked up and he said, I'll never forget it. He said, I've seen most of our great leaders speak in person, nearly everyone. And he came through New York City. He said, but I've never heard one like you, and I've seen them all. I'll never forget when that elder told me that. Because what he basically said was, you are right there with them. He seen Malcolm, he saw King, he saw Hall, and he said, I've never heard, he didn't say I was better because it ain't about that. We all the same team. But he said, I've never heard one like you. So that's what gives me my energy, brother. And the fact that I believe I was born to do this work. I'm not one of these Johnny-come-latelys to consciousness. No, I'm not one of these guys who wanted to be a this and wanted to be a that. It didn't work out, so I just landed in a consciousness.
Well, I know I don't have you long, Doc, but are you willing to take some questions? I mean,
yes, sir. We can take some questions. Before we do, a couple quick announcements, if I may.
Go ahead, Doc.
We talked about the donations. We need the donations. Please send in your check or money order payable to F.D.M.G Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19802. You can also cash app your donation, cash.me/$FDMG School. We received $2,000 in cash app donations last week. $2,000. We deposited $4,500 in checks and money orders today. So that's $7,000 in approximately 2 weeks. So we doing good, but we need to push harder because we got to raise $1 million. Okay, if we don't raise $1 million, we need $500,000 so we can do the big school. If we don't get $500,000, maybe we can get $250,000 to do the small school. So please, brothers and sisters, make those donations. That's the first announcement. Second announcement, we are finally going to begin shooting for the highly anticipated documentary entitled The Shockumentary, America's Psychoacademic War Against Black Boys. This will be made for the movies. It will be released through a major film studio, and we're going to start filming in June. I'm scheduling now. I need to have the schedule done for May to give it to the video team. I'm saying that to say that if there's anyone listening to this interview who has a testimonial, a story that they would like to share about their personal experience with the war against Black boys. It could be about special education, medication, learning disabilities, misdiagnosis, school suspension, school expulsion, racism, alternative school evaluation, IEP. It could be about juvenile detention, police genocide, any experience you have in those 5 stages of miseducation, special education, psychiatric medication, juvenile incarceration, psychological frustration, or premature extermination, get in contact with Dr. Umar. You don't just have to be a parent. You could be a Black man who lived it, and you want to tell what you went through. You understand? You could be a Black woman married to a Black man, and you saw him go through it, and you want to talk about that. You could be a teacher, superintendent, police officer, social worker, probation officer, leader of a community organization. You could be a neighborhood activist. You don't have to have a big title, but you got to have a strong story. You don't have to have a big title, but you need to have a strong story. On top of that, we are coming out with a shockumentary mixtape. A documentary mixtape and a soundtrack, which will feature up-and-coming hip-hop artists, singers, poets, and spoken word artists. If you are a rapper, a singer, a poet, or a spoken word artist, and you have a piece no more than 4 minutes long that you want to submit for consideration on the mixtape or the soundtrack, you have until June 1st to email that to me. Dr.Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. DRUMAR Johnson at yahoo.com. The piece must be original. It cannot be something that's already been put out. It cannot be something that's on somebody else's mixtape. It cannot be something that has already been published on a previous album. It must be new. It must be authentic. And you must own 100% of the rights to that song, that rap, that piece of poetry, or that spoken word piece. Email that to Dr. Johnson at yahoo.com with the name of the track, the instrumental, as well as the track with the actual, song or spoken word piece if it has music to it. So we need the instrumental plus the song with the music, both tracks, because we're going to be using the movie for both the soundtrack as well as the documentary. If you are selected, your music will be featured in the documentary, and it will also be on the soundtrack. Okay, we're going to sell the soundtrack to raise money to finance the documentary. We're going to sell the soundtrack to raise money to finance the documentary. How does this benefit the artist? It benefits the artist because you got the most requested Black scholar on the planet taking your music across the world for free. You're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free publicity just by being on it. You're going to get credits on the soundtrack. You're going to get credited on the documentary. There will be a special feature of the artist who donated a song to help us with the documentary. And it's just going to be a very, very powerful artistic renaissance that's going to take place. So if anybody's listening, up and coming artists, you want to do a piece, please email it to Dr. Umar Johnson. Everybody will not make the soundtrack. There's a soundtrack and then there's a separate mixtape. There's a mixtape and there's a soundtrack. Some will make the mixtape, some will make the soundtrack, some will make both. Send it on in. Now, there's another piece for music for the soundtrack, the mixtape, and the documentary. That's one piece. Now, if you are a singer, a poet, a spoken word artist, or a rapper, and you want to perform in the documentary, okay, so that was music for the documentary. I want to make sure we're clear. That was music for the documentary, music for the soundtrack, music for the mixtape. Now we're talking about performing a piece, being filmed, videoed, presenting a piece of art that will be the documentary. If you're interested in being filmed, reciting your poem, offering your rap, offering your song, it must be a cappella though. When we do the live filming, it will be a cappella. We're going to film you in the community, and you got to be able to sing with no music. You got to be able to rap with no beat. You got to be able to do your poem and your spoken word with no beat. It will be no. We want it natural. We want it raw. We want it gritty, and we want it in the hood. So you can simply, okay, offer your piece to be taped. You still need to send it to us. We need to see your 3-minute, 4-minute video of you singing, rapping, or doing your poetry to be considered for the filming of the documentary. And then a separate piece you should submit to be considered for the soundtrack as well as the documentary music. And I hope I'm making sense. One, you're performing in the documentary. The other, you're not performing in the documentary, but you're providing music for the documentary versus the soundtrack and the mixtape. And you could do it all. You could say, Doc, here's my piece. I want to perform in your documentary. And then here's my other piece to be considered for the soundtrack, the mixtape, and the documentary. You can do both, but it can't be the same piece of work. Whatever you perform in the documentary, there must be something different for the soundtrack. Whatever you offer for the soundtrack must be different than what you perform. You cannot perform the same music that we're going to be using because that defeats the purpose. You must give us a different piece. And again, anyone has any clarifying questions, Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. They can also email me at 8444-Dr. I'm telling you, the revolution is coming. It's here. Team Pan-African is coming back, which is an organization I started on Kwame Nkrumah's birthday back in 2005. Anybody who's looking for a powerful organization to be a part of, we will be holding new member meetings for Team Pan-African coming up this summer. RBG, from head to toe, Harveyism is back. And the last announcement I want to make before you go to the phones, very important, the National Independent Black Parent Association, which we founded in Baltimore 3 years ago. National Independent Black Parent Association is holding our next Leadership and Advocacy Training Conference in Wilmington, Delaware. Anybody who wants to learn how to be a parent advocate for their own children, for their community, if you want to learn how to be a parent advocate and then help us start a chapter of the National Independent Black Parent Association in your neighborhood, we are encouraging you to come to Wilmington, Delaware. 2 days, June 8th and June 9th, Saturday and Sunday. 2 days, June 8th and June 9th, Saturday and Sunday. You can register on the website right now, DrUmarJohnson.com. Children are welcome. Elders are welcome. You don't have to pay for kids. You don't have to pay for elders. It's 9 to 5 both days. Lunch will be provided. If you can only come for 1 day, come for 1 day. But I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know in order to effectively advocate for parents and children in the public, private, parochial, or charter school system. If you come to this training, the education you get will be equivalent to that of an educational attorney. That's facts. Register now.
Yeah. What the doc just said. If not, if you just now joining the stream just now, go ahead and just, rewind it back. You can hear all that information, his donation links, his numbers, and also his emails. If you want to send a resume in, whatever you want to do, go ahead, play it back, and you can go ahead and find out what the doc got going on. Now, what I'm going to do is, okay, and I have to say this, and I hate that I have to say this to my folks. I hate it. But y'all know how our folks are. I'm going to put this number in the chat room, all right? I'm going to put this number in the chat room. Call in here. You got an intelligent question to ask the doc. I don't have them long. Don't get up here saying nothing crazy, because if you do, I'm just going to block you. That's it. And you'll never be able to call in to this program again ever, all right? Because once I block you, that's it. Your number's blocked forever. And same goes for the chat room, all right? And my moderators, y'all slipping because I seen something crazy get through. All right. I had to block it myself. Don't make me start pulling wrenches. All right. Y'all, I told y'all at the beginning of the show, ain't nobody going to come up here disrespecting my guests. All right. It's not going to happen. So be on your P's and Q's, block all the nonsense. If you want to call in, ask the doc a question. There's the number. I just put it in the chat. Go ahead and call on in, but you better be calling in with some sense, because if you do, I'm just going to cut your ass off. I ain't playing no games. I told y'all at the top of the hour, we ain't playing no games. When the doctor's in the house, it's serious business. If you don't understand that, you're in the wrong place. You're on the wrong platform. You're watching the wrong stream. All right? The doc is in. We ain't playing no games. So go ahead and hit that phone number right there. The phone number is 712-770-4010. That's 712-770-4010. Access code 889212 if you wish to get up in here and ask a question. Also, I need y'all to get these likes up. I got the one and only Dr. Umar in the house. Should have to even ask. There should be so many likes that is going up. You understand? When I got the doc in the house, I shouldn't have to ask for likes, all right? Don't cost you nothing. Take you 5 seconds to slide that mouse over and hit that like button. It's not like I'm asking you for money, all right? So go ahead, move that hand over, slide that mouse over that like button, and go ahead and hit it up. While we waiting for the people to call in, or wait for my board to light up. So when you come, so are you going to be on another tour in I know you sent me the list of everything. Are you going to be on like a southern tour, like during the months of June and July?
Wow. I would probably argue that I've been on tour for about 10 years because it's never stopped. But let me tell you what we have coming up for your listeners. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, next Saturday, April 27th. I'm in Dayton, Ohio, the very next day, Sunday, April the 28th. I'm at Prince George's County Community College in Largo, Maryland, Thursday, May 2nd. I'm in Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, Sunday, May 5th. I am in Hartford, Connecticut for the first time, May 19th. June 23rd. We have the National Independent Black Parent Association Advocacy Training, Wilmington, Delaware, June 8th and 9th. We also have Orlando and Jacksonville, Florida, back-to-back. August the 30th, which is a Friday, is Jacksonville, Florida. The next day, Saturday, August the 31st, is Orlando, Florida. And we're looking at Fort Lauderdale for Sunday, September 1st. So that might be a triple threat. Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City, back-to-back. November the 2nd, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then on Sunday, November the 3rd, we're in Oklahoma City. I will be in the Bahamas the first week of November. I will be in Brazil for the first time, the third week of November. I will be in Brussels, Belgium, September the 7th. We have our group trip to Ghana for anyone who's interested. We're going to Ghana from July the 25th to August the 4th, 11 nights, 12 days in Ghana for the 400-year year of return, ancestral remembrance, naming ceremony, slave dungeons, Kente Cloth Factory, Adinkra Village, Prempeh Museum is going to be crazy. If you've never been to Africa and you want to go with Dr. Umar for 2 weeks, please text me or email me so I can see the information so you can contact Mother Sharifa so she can go ahead and register you for the tour. Again, Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com, or you can text me at 215-989-9858. You can also get me at 8444 Dr. Umar. That's 8444 DRUMAR. What else we got? I don't want to make sure I leave anyone out. What else we got? Long Island, New York, July the 14th. Charlotte, North Carolina, July the 6th. And those two events are both being sponsored by the I-10 Entertainment Group. Charlotte, July the 6th, and then Long Island, New York, July the 14th.
Where you going to be at in Long Island, Doc? Because you know I'm from Long Island originally.
She hasn't given me the location yet, but you can email the Queen at info@AKEN, info@AKEN Entertainment Group. One word, AKEN Entertainmentgroup.com. info@AKENentertainmentgroup.com for Charlotte, July 6th, and Long Island, New York, July the 14th. I'm working on Jackson, Mississippi right now. We're working on Jackson. We're also working on San Francisco and Oakland right now. I'm trying to do San Diego, Los Angeles, San Fran / Oakland, either or, and Sacramento. I'm trying to come straight up the California coastline. So we pushing, brothers and sisters, we pushing. And I love the lecturing. I love spreading the information. And the reason I continue to do that is because I'm a healer. That's why I became a psychologist, because I'm a healer. And as I've been told by many elders that I actually heal people, it's not just a message. You bring a healing with your energy, and our people need that healing. And so I continue to do this as a form of therapy for our people, but also as a form of awakening, but also as a form of practical knowledge. See, there's two types of knowledge. There's dead knowledge, and then there's living knowledge. Dead knowledge, you can't do nothing with it. You can learn it, but it doesn't do anything for you. Living knowledge, you can take it and apply it. And the type of expertise that I have as it relates to the education and mental health of Black children is living knowledge. You can take it and use it immediately. And that's what separates me from a lot of other personalities in the conscious community who have nothing to give our people but dead, useless knowledge.
Wow. I got a question for you, Doc, from Victor Costin in the chat room. He says, sorry, I can't call in, but will you be adding children with intellectual disabilities to your school?
Great question. In the beginning, no. But what I do plan to do, after all, I'm a doctor of clinical psychology. I deal with mental illness and disability. I'm a certified school psychologist. 20 years in, I deal with disabilities and learning problems. So it wouldn't make sense for a school psychologist to start a school and not have any programs for children with disabilities. So what I plan to create is a special program for those children who are autistic. There will be a second special program for those children with serious mental illness. I want to have a special program for deaf children and a special program for blind children. So I want to start with those four in particular, because Black blind kids are overlooked, Black deaf kids are overlooked, Black autistic kids don't get what they need, and our children with serious mental illness are often overlooked as well. They suffer twice. They suffer because they're Black, and then they suffer because they have an extreme disability. So that's a very good question, by the way. That's a very good question. And yes, I've already put it out there before that those are going to be the four disability classifications that we're going to target first, and then we're going to expand beyond that. So we will have those classes at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, which will make us the first African-centered school that I'm aware of in American history that actually has programs for disabled African children.
Well, can we talk about that a little bit, Doc?
Sure.
How major is the problem with young Black children with disabilities? Like, I mean, how bad is it?
It's bad because they don't get the attention that they deserve. They're overlooked. Like, even when you look at the Special Olympics, you know why the Special Olympics are so lily white? Because they mistreat and marginalize and overlook and exclude Black parents and their children with disabilities. So a lot of Black parents, they don't sign their kids up for Special Olympics because it's racist. It's racist as hell. So we need our own Special Olympics. And that's something that I plan to do right there on the sacred grounds of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. You know, we in fact plan to do that. You know, so it is a problem because they're so overlooked. The reason why it doesn't get a lot of attention because most disabled populations only represent a small percentage of the people. You know, so whether they're white, Black, brown, it doesn't matter. Disabled are no more than 10% on average. So you tend not to see a lot of deaf, blind, Black blind kid and Black deaf kid and Black seriously mentally retarded or intellectually disabled, as we call it now. You don't see it because parents keep them in the house because they don't get no support. People are very insensitive. People crack jokes. They disrespect. I mean, look at all the Black comedians that made fun of deaf kids and Black people with serious mental illness. It's a joke in the Black community. Very insensitive, you know. So I want to reach out to them. I plan to have seminars with them. I plan to start doing conference calls with them. Like when I call F.D.M.G, I literally mean it's a heaven on earth. It's going to be a place where a lot of people in our community for the first time can go and feel welcome, feel like they belong, feel like they need something. The reason the Black church gets so much love from Black people, there's no other place that invites you to come out and just be who you are. And of course, the church doesn't really want you to be who you are because soon when you show up, they want to turn you into a Muslim or a Christian or a Hebrew or a Jehovah's Witness or whatever the case may be. So they don't really want you to come as you are because they want to remake you into what they want you to be. But at FDMG, you can literally come as you are. We're going to have support groups for women who've been sexually abused, support groups for single Black fathers, support groups for people who have been victimized by white violence, which is growing in this country. We want to have something for everybody. 100 years ago, the Honorable Marcus Garvey in New York City had something for everybody. Well, guess what? 100 years later in Wilmington, Delaware, which is also, by the way, the location where Marcus Garvey incorporated the Black Star Line Steamship Corporation in 1919. The Black Star Liner of Marcus Garvey's movement was incorporated in Wilmington, Delaware in 1919. Is it a coincidence that we incorporate the F.D.M.G Academy in Wilmington, Delaware in 2019? There are no coincidences. Garvey's coming back in the whirlwind. What did he say? He said, I'm the first Marcus Garvey. You're going to have to deal with many more Marcus Garveys after I'm gone. And I'm one of those Marcus Garveys back in the whirlwind to finish the work of the greatest Black leader, greatest Black nationalist, greatest Black Pan-Africanist, the only Black leader, the only one who organized our people on a mass scale without using Islam or Christianity, the only Black leader that was the leader of African people throughout the entire world, not just the United States, the only Black leader who never took a penny from the Arab, the Latino, the East Indian, the Jew, or the Anglo-Saxon, the only Black man to lay down a systematic ideological framework and blueprint for the elimination of white colonialism throughout Africa and throughout the Caribbean. The Honorable Marcus Garvey, I am here to finish the fellow Leo's work.
Wow. Well, we got another question for you in the chat. Y'all know y'all can call in. I got the phone number up there, 712-770-4010. That's 712-770-4010. Access code 889212. My brother, Artner Style, he says there were a few times when some Negroes tried to discredit your background in the mainstream media. What is your recommendation on how to prevent that from happening, then having a bright future such as yours?
You can't prevent it because the white man conditioned our people to be full of self-hatred. What Roland Martin did on his show was absolutely unacceptable and unforgivable, especially since I have been on that show several times before, and he never tried anything like that. But he was jealous at the love that I was getting off of the Breakfast Club interview that I had done not even a week prior. And since my Breakfast Club interview was so hot, It went viral. In fact, every time I'm on the Breakfast Club, it goes more viral than any rapper that they bring on there. Okay, because it was going so viral, Roland Martin wanted to quote unquote humble me. That's how self-hatred works. He's a member of the black bourgeoisie. He's one of those coons that the power structure uses to take down brothers and sisters like me. Just like they used W.E.B. Du Bois and A. Philip Randolph and Cyril Briggs and Chandler Owen and the NAACP and the African Blood Brotherhood to bring down Garvey. Well, they tried to use News One Now and Roland Martin to bring me down. And they've used other bourgeoisie coons to try to bring me down. So if they did it to Garvey 100 years ago, why wouldn't they do it to me? So yes, they went to the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology and tried to get my certification revoked, stop me from getting licensed. Yes, they've been to the IRS. Yes, they went to GoFundMe and had the school fundraiser account shut down. They went to the post office and tried to say that I was guilty of the same false crimes that they charged Mr. Garvey with, using the United States mail to defraud people in connection to donating to the school, as they did with Marcus Garvey, saying that he tried to use the mails to defraud people in connection with the Black Star Line. The F.D.M.G is the Black Star Line of today. Everything that they did to Garvey 100 years ago with the Black Star Line, they've done it to Dr. Umar with the F.D.M.G Academy. The question is, why don't we learn our lessons from history? Why are we going to let them do to me what they did to Garvey 100 years ago? And what really bothered me, to be honest, and again, the detractors are only a small group, but black people love negativity, so they get a lot of attention. It hurts when you see that you are as hardworking and sincere as I am, and your people think it's funny that some others in the community are trying to discredit and destroy a work that is aimed at saving our children. That's what hurts me the most. Why is it funny when someone's trying to discredit someone whose whole life is dedicated to serving black children? That means you don't care about black children either. But it's okay, though, because when we open up the school, Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, and I'm hoping that all of my supporters from around the world are there, none of them will be allowed in the school. They will not be allowed to attend any event, whether it is a F.D.M.G sponsored event, a Team Pan-African event, an NIBPA event, an Unapologetically African Movement event, or even if someone is renting space at the F.D.M.G campus, no hater who has ever spoken out against me or attacked the school campaign will ever be allowed to set foot in any of our buildings. And I'm counting on you all. I'm counting on the real Dr. Umar supporters to keep me aware of who those haters are, because I'm too busy working. I won't know these people when I see them, but many of y'all will know them when you see them. And you need to pull your brother to the side or one of the African guards of Garvey security and let them know that brother right there is a Dr. Umar hater. He has no business being in here, and we will promptly throw their asses out of school. So I'm letting haters know now. If you a hater, don't walk in it, because the minute somebody points you out, your ass will get drugged by the damn neck. This is for supporters and supporters only. It is not for fence riders, and it is not for haters. This is heaven on earth, and we don't need no black devils.
Wow. I wanna jump back to when I saw you on Roland Martin, and I mean, you were dropping it. You always drop it, Doc, when you go places. And what killed me?
No, I handle my business.
Yeah.
But it should have never happened. You know what I mean, brother? It should have never. You got a black man arguing with three Negroes, and I'm not going to include the fourth brother because he was pretty neutral. The attorney.
Yeah.
He was pretty neutral. I'm not going to throw them. But with Lauren and Eugene and Roland, we on national television, no filter, to the entire world, and you got three coons arguing against black men being loyal to black women.
Yeah.
It's one thing to argue for integration and we love white folks. We've been doing that for 400 years. But how do you argue that there's something wrong with telling black men that they need to be loyal to black women? And you got a black woman arguing for interracial marriage. You got a chocolate, richly melanated brother who has a white girl, by the way, that was proven right after the show to me, arguing for interracial marriage. That was the sickness of that show, brother. They had no right to be defending their slave master on a black national platform.
Wow. I almost lost it because, you know, when I was watching, it was in the morning, and I lost it when you called the brother a coon. You was like, you a coon.
And then Roland got mad. But wait, you saw Roland got mad, but Roland didn't say nothing about him calling me a lie. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. While I was sitting there, and you probably couldn't see it because I was trying to keep my decorum. I'm on national TV. A part of me said, "Get up, smack this shit out of Roland on national TV and walk us now." I'm telling you, brother, I was tempted. I was tempted. The only reason I did not do it is I think I would have got arrested. I think I would have, because, you know, we only a couple blocks from the Capitol and the White House. And, you know, it's a white building. They just use space. There they were CNBC and you feel me, brother? And I didn't even be getting arrested. You know what I mean? That's the only reason why I didn't smack the shit out of Roland. You know, because he deserved it that day. He deserved it.
And the crazy thing, man, after I saw that, man, and I used to watch Roland pretty regularly, man, I stopped watching him after that shit. I was like, man, this is some BS, man.
You know what, brother? I'm going to be honest. I believe, and Roland will never admit to this, that fat and no-neck receding hairline coon will never admit to this, but I believe we are the reason his show got canceled.
Wow.
Do you think it's a coincidence that I'm on Roland? That was probably, where was that? That was like August. By December, they canceled it.
Yeah.
So our show was the third quarter of the year. He got canceled the fourth quarter. And I believe Roland's show got canceled because he went in so hard on me that a lot of our people did not like it. They stopped watching him. His views went down and the network dropped him. I absolutely believe that's what happened to that show.
Yeah, well, media was a buzz, you know, because I'm aligned with a few brothers, and they were talking about that shit, man. I mean, we didn't like that shit. We didn't like that shit at all. I mean, we did not like it. I know I didn't. I stopped watching Roland after that shit. I was like, man, I ain't watching this shit no more, man. I did not. Of course, I think he went about it all wrong, but you know, Roland is one of those people who, you know, I think he comes off as a person who, you know, does things for black folks, but he's one of those people who loves white folks. So
yeah, he loves white folks. Roland Martin loves white folks. Yeah, and you saw it in that show. You saw it, like, it's a shame, but he's considered the conscious of the black bourgeoisie. Like, Roland Martin is considered one of the more conscious of the black bourgeoisie. But as you can see next to me, you clearly saw that he's a coon and no different from any other bourgeoisie. He's no different from any other bourgeoisie.
Well, unfortunately, and I say this a lot, man, and I know you believe it too. Some of us, man, we just love white people. We just can't get enough up. Yeah, we can't get enough
that
up.
That Negro danced for Hillary Clinton. Did you see that? He danced for Hillary Clinton. Got up and danced the jig.
We can't get enough of them, man. So now that F.D.M.G is here and all of that, do you think other people will now try to copy you? You know, will they try to one-up you? Will they go out and now try to get a school?
But I don't mind that, because progress is progress. And let's be honest, the only way we improve as a people is if the next person who does it better. The only way we improve as a people is if the next person who does it better. And this is where the ego of the Negro and our self-hate becomes such a stumbling block to our progress, brother. Because if progress dictates that we get better as we go on, that means there must be a better school psychologist than Dr. Umar in the future. There must be a better F.D.M.G in the future. There must be a greater Pan-Africanist than Dr. Umar in the future. There must be a much stronger nation builder and institution builder 10, 20, 30 years from now. I'm supposed to be better than Malcolm. I'm supposed, and I'm not saying I am, I'm just joining, I just want to give an analogy. I'm supposed to be doing better than Garvey. Because if I'm not doing better than Malcolm, we've made no progress. If I'm not doing better than Garvey, we've made no progress. If I'm not doing no better than Kwame Nkrumah or Patrice Lumumba or Sekou Touré or Steve Biko or Robert Sobukwe or Amilcar Cabral or Sekou Touré, if I'm not doing no better than King or Mega or Huey, okay, or Fred Hampton, then we're not doing better as a people. That means we're going backwards. Because remember, there's no standards when it comes to progress. You're either getting worse or you're getting better. There ain't no standstill. Ask an athlete. An athlete does not stand still. You're conditioning as an athlete, a boxer, a football player. You don't stand still. You either getting worse and more out of shape, or you're becoming better at your craft. And we have to recognize that as African people, that there's no space for the ego of the Negro, because the ego of the Negro got Malcolm X killed. The ego of the Negro helped get Dr. King killed. The ego of the Negro got Marcus Garvey deported from America. The ego of the Negro is what had all those black churches working against Dr. King, even though he was the only one trying to do something practically beneficial for Africans in America. You understand? That means when Dr. Umar is replacement, I must embrace him. When I see the next best, when I see the school psychologist better than me, I embrace that 20-year-old. When I see the next great orator, I embrace that 25-year-old. When I see the next great F.D.M.G independent school builder, I must go to that 30-year-old brother and say, brother, I'm going to take you under my wing, because guess what? You got the potential to be better than me, and I'm going to make sure you do better than me, not for you, but for our people. We must get better over time. But the problem is you got all these Negroes, gatekeepers, who don't want to see other people who can do better than them shine. So they would rather push the entire race back. They would rather see us go backwards, brother, than to kill their ego and let another brother outperform them. And that's the problem. Why do you think we got 1 million black churches? We don't have 1 million black churches because everybody loves Jesus. We got 1 million black churches because another young pastor came along, and he was better than the brother who built the church. And when that pastor gets up there, the whole community turns out. And that young pastor goes to that elder pastor and say, listen, pastor, I know this is your church. You built it. Your grandfather pastored, your great-grandfather pastored. This church has been in your family for over 100 years. I'm not trying to take it from you, but I have a skill, and I have a talent, and I have a gift. God bless me with charisma. God bless me with oratory. Let me do a couple sermons, pastor. That way it works for the both of us. You get the money you need, you get the membership you need, you get the attendance you need, and you allow me the opportunity to grow and develop under your tutelage. And guess what the pastor tells the young brother? No, this is my church. I built this. I was pastoring before he was born, and this church will die with me. And that's why you see all these empty black churches, because they had young, strong men and women who wanted to help in the leadership, but that insecure European ego of that Negro pushed aside the future of the people in order to protect his ego at the expense of black progress, brother. That's the problem we got. I'm not trying to suffocate or sabotage a young brother who can do something that I do better. I'm going to embrace him, because 10, 20, 30 years from now, I'm supposed to fall back and be the OG of this shit. I want to quarterback this. I don't want to be 70 years old still running around the world speaking. I don't want to be 70 years old still teaching. I don't want to be 70 years old still organizing at the forefront. I'm supposed to be quarterbacking it. I'm supposed to become an advisor. I'm supposed to become a mentor. I'm supposed to be the one helping to strategize. But because black men are so egotistical, you see us at 70, 80, 90 years old at the forefront of organizations. You ain't got no business being no leader of no movement at 70, 80, and 90. That should be a young brother, and you should simply be his mentor. But we can't do that. The Jewish community does it. Arabs do it. Chinese do it. Anglo-Saxons do it. Oh, yes, now the Pope might be old, but the Pope is a ceremonial leader. He don't make no decisions. The Pope ain't calling no shots. He's all ceremonial. That's a little bit different than actually being the intellectual head of a movement at 70, 80, and 90. Old man for counsel, young man for war.
Exactly. Well, we got another question for you, Doc. My man Art in the Style again, he said, can you speak to the crisis of our emasculated black boys and how your school will be a remedy for this problem in our community?
Well, F.D.M.G is an unapologetically African alpha male institution. That's what we are. So the school itself is the solution, because it is a living, breathing institution for black males. And as such, we will tolerate no feminization. There will be none of that stuff taught in our school. We're not having that. That goes against everything that we believe in. We absolutely are not having any of that. Okay? With that being said, we got to understand something. What is the next best thing to exterminating a population? What is the next best thing to exterminating black men? Effeminizing them. By effeminizing the black man, you basically exterminate them anyway, because you take away their manhood. To take a man's manhood is to kill him anyway. To take a man's manhood is to kill him anyway. And that's exactly what they're doing to black males. They are effeminizing them as a form of living death. Many black men are living dead because their masculinity has been raped away from them. And so that's why the effeminization campaign is so powerful, because the black man has always been the threat in American society. We have always been the threat. How do you eliminate the threat? Effeminize that man. Remember, women look to men for leadership. Women look to men for protection. So if you feminize the black male, he will do what? Look to the white male for protection. He will look to the white male for guidance and for nurturance. So effeminization is a form of living death for black males. It is a form of psychological castration. And they popularize the effeminization. And that's what makes it even worse, because they're making it popular to be black and homosexual, popular to be black and transgender. You know, they've made it so popular that brothers, little boys are saying, wait a minute, you get more respect as a gay black man than as a straight black man. That's very true. There is a black homosexual privilege in America, and we all see it. When you look on television, you have Don Lemon, and you go into the colleges of the universities, many of those black presidents are gay, and you go into corporate America, even in the black church, politics, business, you see the ascendancy of the effeminate black male. Now, he may not be homosexual in behavior, but he is effeminate in posture. So you see a rise of effeminacy, and you also see a rise in homosexuality, because that is the only black man that is acceptable to a white man, a black man whose backbone has been broken.
Wow. Well, that that particular thing we see all the time. I mean, that's how most black men are represented, especially when you're talking about television. I mean, and that's what kills me, because it seems like every quote unquote black show has a homosexual element in it. I mean, it can never be a black show without no homosexuality. There has to be a few homosexuals thrown into the storyline, or the black show don't go on the air. That, to me, I mean, because you look at the Empires and the Powers and all these other types of so-called black shows, they make sure that they put black male and they make sure it's black male homosexuality. All right, not white male homosexuality, not white female homosexuality. They make sure that it's black male homosexuality front and center.
Well, see, you actually touched on another thing too. And this is what I'm about to say is a shame, because it has no parallel in the history of any other people. And that is that the American Negro is the only human species in history to participate in the extermination of his own public image. I don't know if you know this, but no other people have ever volunteered to help tear down their image in the world's eye. Gangster rappers, they are participating in the extermination of the image of black males. They are making it easy for police genocide to be accepted by popularizing images of black men as being nothing more than killers, drug dealers, prisoners, conspicuous consumers of expensive European useless goods, sexual exploiters of women, marijuana smokers. I mean, look at the images that these goofy ass rappers are putting out about black men. And because the rappers live a privileged life to some degree, they have security, and most of them got enough money to live in a white suburb. None of them live in the ghettos where they popularizing their raps. If you love it so much, why aren't you still living there? Soon when they get money, they run away from that. But yet our boys have to bear the brunt of that conditioning that was wrought by the hip hoppers upon the larger public opinion of black males. And so now we're going to jail. We're being shot and killed and beat up by police because these silly Negroes who are being paid and promoted by white corporations to put out negative images of black males are participating willingly in the extermination of the image of black males. Lee Daniels is working on a movie to come out with that's going to showcase the first homosexual superhero. I don't know if you heard about this, but he's working on the first black homosexual superhero. And he got the idea from a gay black boy on Instagram known as Super Bitch. If you go and search Super Bitch on Instagram, it's a gay black boy who dresses up like Superman, and he goes around fighting against crime and engaging in stereotypical homosexual behavior. So he dresses up like a woman. He got on heels. He's switching, he's doing all the hand gestures, and it's supposed to be a joke. So Lee Daniels saw it, and he reached out to the guy and said, hey, I want to do a Super Bitch movie, and I might want you to be a part of it. With all of the issues we got, you got these bourgeoisie, here we go again, bourgeoisie Negroes who will invest time, money, and energy into putting out a black gay super. What benefit is a black gay superhero to black boys? What benefit? And then he has another movie that's about to come out called Pimp. It hasn't dropped yet. I don't know why, but it's called Pimp, starring Keke Palmer, where she's a lesbian pimp. A lesbian pimp selling other women. Why do we need that? You already gave us Precious, which was horrible. You didn't already gave us Empire. Homosexuality like crazy. Not a single black man in Empire has a positive relationship with a black woman. You got Lucius, Hakeem, Jamal, and Andre. 4 black males, and not one of them has a healthy relationship with a black woman. That's what you're teaching our children. Once again, we are participating in the extermination of our own public image, and we're the only people in history to have ever done so.
Wow. I mean, I hear this stuff when I talk to, it's amazing how similar you and Sister Shahrazad Ali talk, because I talk to her quite often too. And God, I wish I could get both of you on here at one time. That would be incredible. She often talks about these same things, and she says that, media, television it's nothing but a distraction for black folks. I mean, it's distracting us from what we really need to do. And I believe that, man. It's a distraction.
I never thought that the American power structure could create a greater distraction than video games. Remember when we were growing up, the video game was everything.
Yeah.
Sega, Nintendo, even now, the Xbox and all these different, I don't even know the names of these things. Grand Theft Auto, all these games. I've never got into the video games. But I see the space and time that it occupies in the lifestyle of black people. It ain't just kids playing video games. You got grown men who will sit in front of a video game for days. I mean, a life waster. Forget being a time waster. Video games are a life waster, not to mention the amount of money that goes into these things. I said there will never be anything created to compete with the video game. Nothing will ever surmount until social network came. Social network has actually defeated the video game industry as the #1 distractor of black people's time. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, websites, World Wide Web, you name it, brother. The intellectual revolution has totally destroyed Black America's focus on their own agenda. The reason we can't focus on a black agenda is because we're too busy focused on the YouTube agenda, the Instagram agenda, the Twitter agenda, the Snapchat agenda. Those things are killing us. We are literally being edutained to death. We are being edutained. Nobody wants to turn off the internet and go to a real meeting. We just want to sit up on the YouTube, You understand? And have conversation over the internet. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you got something else in play. You can have more than one technique. That's not the problem. The problem is when internet becomes the sole basis of your revolutionary activity. YouTube is the sole activity that you can claim as a community activist. I give my opinions on YouTube. Are you kidding me? We're not going to save black people on YouTube, and we're not going to save black people on the internet. Because as soon as you get real serious and you're trying to use those platforms to communicate a serious agenda, they'll shut it down. Why do you think I don't have a YouTube page? I was on YouTube for 3 months. I did a special ed seminar. I didn't say nothing about the homosexuals, nothing about the white folks. They knocked me right off of YouTube. I was only 90 days. So if you're serious, they won't even let you be on it. Okay? It's only people who just want to sit around, giving their opinions, constantly, just reacting to racism. Because that's what most of the YouTube conscious people do. They just react to racism. Something happens, they do a story. They locked up Bill Cosby, let's talk about it. They killed Brother Nipsey, rest in peace to Brother Nipsey, and shout out to his family, let's talk about it. Nothing wrong with that. But if all you're going to do is run your mouth on YouTube, you are useless to the struggle, and you're actually worse than the Christian pastor that you are actually supposed to be replacing. Isn't it ironic that the conscious community has become a worse distractor and hypocrite than black church? We talked about black church so much, the conscious community has become a damn church.
Unbelievable, man. Another question, Doc. Should we worry about the Me Too movement when it comes to our growing black males?
Well, feminism, and I actually put a clip on my Instagram a couple of days ago about I had to shut down some black young feminists at a college in Birmingham, England, a couple of years ago, because we don't know who we are and we don't like doing the research on anything that comes before us. It's easy to, snatch black people up and make them support something that's actually against them. It's easy to do that because we love white folks and we love to be a part of anything that's not for black folks. So black girls, we should be fighting for black liberation and now fighting for women's rights, failing to realize that the rights you're fighting for are the rights of white women, not yourself, because you're in a separate category. You'll never get what they get. Okay, why wasn't the white woman fighting for the black woman's freedom during slavery? Because she was black. So the whole women's rights thing is a white woman's thing. And although they may accord it to Mexican women and Latino women and second and third world women, they will never accord it to black people. And why? Because the goal of America for blacks is extermination. Period. So there's no way the white woman can support the black woman's freedom because she is next to her man in full support of the extermination of African people. The woman's movement the feminist movement is a white woman's thing. It has nothing to do with the black woman at all. It is as racist as anything else. But in the 21st century, the white man has reinvented his program of propaganda. And the new racism is feminism. The new racism is LBGTism. The new racism is communism. If you want to destroy a black man today, you ain't got to, just go out and Willie Lynch him and hang him. You know what you do? You accuse him of doing something against women. You accuse him of doing something against LBGT. You accuse him of doing something that's against multiculturalism. Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars, okay? And white folks didn't want Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars because he's too dark, okay? And they already had Chris Rock 2 or 3 times. They tried to see a dark-skinned black man host the Oscars because that's a privileged white award show. So instead of just being honest and say, listen, we white folks don't want to see another Negro host the Oscars. We had too many. LL Cool J did it. We're talking to white folks. Instead of saying that, they went 10 years into Kevin Hart's Twitter and found something that they consider to be insensitive towards the LGBT community, and they said he can host the Oscars 10 years later because of a joke he made about gays. Meanwhile, you had white folks who have made jokes about gays who have hosted award shows. Nick Cannon actually pointed this out and showed it. Well, why didn't y'all stop her from hosting? Why didn't y'all stop her from hosting? They also made sexually insensitive tweets, but there was no consequence. Why was there consequence to Kevin Hart? Because it was never about it was never about homosexual comment. It was about his blackness. The homosexuality is just the excuse that they use. Cosby. Bill Cosby ain't in jail for no sexual harassment, no sex abuse. Okay? Bill Cosby is in jail because he was planning once again to purchase a major television network. That's why Bill Cosby is in jail. Okay, they simply use feminism as the excuse, abuse against women. Are you aware that Bill Cosby never even penetrated that woman? That the only thing she even claims that he did was rub her breast and massage her thigh while she was intoxicated off of a pill that he gave her that we all know she wanted. Okay, that's all he did. What man do you know gets his whole life destroyed because he touched somebody's breast and touched their thigh? There was no penetration in that case. But every school child is running around thinking Bill Cosby is in jail because he raped somebody. Bill Cosby raped absolutely nobody. He is guilty of basically the same thing that they accused Tupac of, illegal touching. Illegal touching sent Tupac to jail. Illegal touching sent Mike Tyson to jail. Illegal touching sent Bill Cosby to jail. But the problem that Bill Cosby made, his mistake, is keeping company with white women. It's the same mistake that Ezekiel Elliott made of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the same mistake Tiger Woods made. Shout out to Tiger. He finally won a Masters again. He's back on top, but he couldn't focus for a long time because that white woman who he married took half of his money when they got a divorce, and she was a broke, poor white girl when he met her. She's rich now off of Tiger Woods. Okay, but he finally got his mojo back. So shout out to him. Hopefully he'll embrace his blackness, but I doubt it. But anyhow, we got to recognize that LBGT, feminism, and multiculturalism are the new faces of racism.
Wow. Got another question from my man, bro Rob. He said, what do you think about developing a nationwide African-centered curriculum for K-12?
Great question. Great question. And before I answer that, I'm going to add another question to that people have often asked me. Two questions. One question is, will you make F.D.M.G's curriculum available to the whole African-American community? And that answer is no. And then the other question is, why don't you start an online school with your curriculum? And the answer to that is no. And the reason why I'm not interested in an online school and I'm not interested in putting my curriculum out, because we need to understand something. The curriculum is only as good as the people implementing the curriculum. We got to be very clear about this. So I'm a therapist. And as a therapist, you do therapy for people. You create a treatment plan, right? But guess what? I can create the best treatment plan to deal with your depression. I can create the best treatment plan to deal with your alcoholism. I can create the best treatment plan to deal with your low self-esteem. But guess what, my brother? If you don't know how to implement my treatment plan, if I'm not there to supervise you and how you implement my techniques, my strategies to help that person, it'll look like the worst treatment plan ever created. Why? Because a treatment plan is only as good as the person implementing it. It's the same thing with curriculum. If I got to choose between a great teacher and a horrible curriculum, or a great curriculum and a horrible teacher, guess what I'm going to choose? A great teacher and the horrible curriculum. Because it is the teacher that teaches the child, not the curriculum. And everybody's so caught up on this curriculum thing. Curriculum is important. I'm not minimizing it. But it's only as good as the people that implement it. So creating a national black curriculum, is that going to necessarily say black kids? Nope. You know why? Because it's only going to be as good as their parents implement them. Why do you think you have principals in schools? Why? Why don't you just send the teachers in there to teach? Why do you need a principal? Because teachers need to be supervised. Why am I going to stop traveling and be the principal at my school? To make sure teachers are doing what I expect them to do. So just creating a curriculum and giving it out to black parents, that ain't no solution. That ain't no solution. I'm not interested in being a part of that. Now, somebody say, Doc, we want to put this together. Will you help us? Sure. But I'm not spearheading that because I know education is only as good as the educators. Education is only as good as the educators. So I'm not putting my curriculum out for the people. I'm not doing no online school because teachers don't teach kids. Kids need people. Let me say that again. Computers cannot teach children better than people. The only reason why online schools are popular is because they're making a lot of money because The only reason online schools are popular is because people are making a lot of money off online schools because there's no overhead. You don't need no school building. You don't need no teachers. You don't need no school bus. You don't need no lunch. You don't need no after school programs. You don't have to worry about 75% of the expenses of a school when you do an online school. Is there any research that proves online schools teach kids better? Hell no, because they don't. But it is a money maker. And in America, anything that makes money will automatically look better than something that doesn't make a lot of money. Schools need to teach children, not no damn computers. So nah, I'm not, that's not something I'm focused on. I'm focused on building F.D.M.G, but I will help. If somebody put together a committee or something to ask for my insight, I will help. But I'm not giving my curriculum to black folks. You out your mind so they can come back and say, oh, I tried Dr.Umar curriculum and it didn't work. No, Big Crow, you didn't try it the way I said you're supposed to try. You didn't implement it the way I needed you to implement it. Nobody's going to be able to discredit my work by me giving them full reign on how to implement something that is near and dear to my heart. Hell no. F.D.M.G's curriculum will be for F.D.M.G school.
So are you going to be on site, Doc? Like, I mean, are you going to be at the school every day?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So you're not going to be like running it from like an office, you know, in Philly, right?
No, sir. I'm going to be there. I'm the principal.
Okay. Okay. So parents will be able to come in.
And then as we build more schools, I will then elevate to become the superintendent. Once we end up with more than one school, I'll split time. When we get 3 schools, I'm splitting time. Once we get 4 or 5 schools, I would have to be the superintendent. But that'll be okay because that's a couple years down the road, which means I would have had the opportunity to observe, evaluate, and train some of my teachers to a point where I would trust them with the operating of that school. And I feel comfortable falling back to be the superintendent because I'm putting teachers who I trained myself in the leadership position at those academies.
So, okay, you're going to be on site. So, I mean, parents will be able to come in and talk to you and do all that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Okay.
As you would with any other principal. Okay. However, at my school, at F.D.M.G, our school, parent time with me will be in the evening. Parents will not walk into the school whenever they feel like it during the day. And I'm going to tell you why. Having been a former school principal, there is nothing that eats away at my ability to supervise instruction because that's what a principal is. We are supervisors of instruction. Nothing eats away at my ability to supervise the instruction of your children and them wanting to meet with me. If a principal, now with public school, they can't really control that because that's the way that they set it up. But guess what? Principals, most of them don't do their job. They can't. How can you be principal if you meet with parents all day long? How? You can't. When do you have time to supervise instruction? You don't. So most principals never do their job. They can't because they can't get out the office. As soon as they try to get out the office to supervise instruction, find out what's going on in the classroom, guess what? Another meeting, another emergency. No, not me. Parents will know. You can meet with me. No problem. My secretary will put you on the schedule. But you will meet with me after school. You will not take time away from me doing my job. My job is to make sure your child is learning. If you need to conversate with me, you conversate with me after school, not during school.
Okay. And it's going to be, the children are going to be living on campus, correct? No, I'm saying, are the children, they're going to be living on campus, right? Or is it going to be like,
sir.
Okay.
No, sir. The F.D.M.G Academy in Delaware is a day school. We don't have enough money for a residential. Okay. Remember, we originally tried to purchase the St. Paul's HBCU down in Virginia. We didn't raise the $2 million necessary, so they sold it to the Chinese. Let me say that again. We allow Chinese to buy a historically black college that was built by our ancestors. It is now owned by Chinese. That is an embarrassment to every black person on this planet. Oprah should have bought it. They just held it behind. Even if they didn't buy it from me, they should have bought it. You don't let Chinese come from another country and buy a historically black college that was built off the blood of black people. That is totally unacceptable. But that's how low we've gotten. So no, we will begin with the day school, but my vision is to be residential. My vision is to be. Now, I could convert the small school into a dorm. I could make that the Marcus Garvey dormitory instead of the Marcus Garvey school building. However, I believe that once we are open, that the school is going to grow by leaps and bounds. And I think I'm going to need all of those classes before it's all over and done with. So I don't think I'm going to turn the Marcus Garvey building into a dormitory. But what we are going to do is purchase some land in Wilmington, build a small economical dorm so for parents with children in Africa, London, Australia, in South America, and around the United States who want their children to come to F.D.M.G but live too far for them to commute, they'll be able to send their children and they can come and live with us in the dormitory. That is a project of ours. There's a lot of land available down there in Wilmington, and we would love to build a small dormitory, but that's 3 to 5 years away from now. The first 3 years of the school will absolutely be a day school. But because of where Wilmington is located geographically, it's at the intersection of southeastern Pennsylvania, southwestern New Jersey, and northeastern Maryland. So we will be able to service boys from Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, which is good because that helps keep us, within our platform and vision of a Pan-Africanist education. Most schools can't service kids from multiple states. We'll be able to service boys from 4 different states, so that feels really good. But we will add the dormitory at some point in the future because I totally believe in residential education and I'm a product of residential education.
All right. Well, I want to ask you one more question before I let you go because I know you done stayed over your time, Doc.
Yeah, you let me see what time we got. It's 11.
Which is fine, but you can call the number because the phone does work. The phone does work because the doc is on it. Number is 712-770-4010. That's 712-770-4010. Access code 889212 if you wish to talk to the doc. And you can put questions in the chat like people have been doing tonight. Doesn't matter. You got a question for the doc, go ahead and shoot it. So the last time we spoke, Doc, you said that you were going to come down here and you were going to, I guess, get some testimonials and you wanted me to go with you to do some filming. Are we still doing that, man?
We'll do it. We'll do it. We won't be doing it this summer because for the documentary #1, I'm going to be focusing on the mid-Atlantic states of Maryland, D.C., Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. That's going to be #1. We will have some testimonials from brothers and sisters from around the country. So there's a chance we may spill. For Shockumentary 1, but we will definitely do it for probably Shockumentary 2 or 3. Shockumentary 2, we're either going to go up to New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, or we're going to go down to Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, and South Carolina. So I'll keep you posted on that. But for the first one, we're going to stay in the mid-Atlantic, but I might need to throw a little bit of Southern energy in this one too. So I'll keep you posted.
All right. Well,
but as far as what I said earlier with regard to the artists, singers, rappers, poets, and spoken word artists who want to submit a piece for consideration for the soundtrack and documentary and or a piece for consideration for a live performance within the documentary, which will be a cappella, no background music, they can come from anywhere. So you can live in Carolina and still be in Shockumentary #1. You can live in Vegas or Phoenix or Atlanta. You can live in Chicago. It doesn't matter where you live for the artistic submissions.
Okay. Well, do you see, I don't know, in the conscious community, the quote unquote conscious community, or anywhere else, do you see any people that impress you as far as, an orator?
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Okay.
Dr. Claude Anderson, he's very practical. He's the closest thing to Amos Wilson. I think Amos Wilson was the greatest Black scholar of the last 50 years, possibly 100. Very practical. I believe he was a psychologist. He was very practical. He was not just information and the romanization of African history. And I see Dr. Claude Anderson in that same vein, very much about practical political and economic solutions. You know, I'm often mentioned with Dr. Claude Anderson. Of course, he's much older than me, but you know, many people have told me that they consider us to be the two most relevant scholars because we're about solutions, not just empty information. We don't spend time debating religion. We don't spend time debating is the black woman God. You know, we don't spend time debating all this useless garbage that you see discussed on conscious circuit, which no matter who's right or who's wrong, no matter what's learned or what is not learned, it has not transformed our reality one bit. And that's what I mean when I spoke earlier about dead knowledge and practical living knowledge. Dead knowledge is knowledge you cannot use. It may be true. It may be accurate. It may make you feel better about yourself. It may give you a self-esteem boost, but you can't use it to change anything. We built the pyramids. Okay, now what? You understand? We tracked and charted the stars. Okay, and now what? You understand? But when you come to a Dr. Umar Johnson lecture and I tell you that if you don't want your child to be immunized, you write this letter and you make sure you include this in it, then you take it to school tomorrow. Or if you don't want your child on ADHD medicine, this is what you're going to say at the meeting and this is how you're going to say it. Or if you don't agree with the diagnosis, you're going to write a letter requesting an independent educational evaluation, or you're going to find your own psychologist and tell the principal who's going to test them and that the school is going to get the bill. See, my knowledge, Dr. Claude Anderson knowledge, and there's a few others, you know, it's practical. You can use it to help yourself now, to change your reality. Most of what's being discussed by people in the conscious community is dead knowledge. You can't do anything with it whatsoever. It changes nothing. I mean, the world is filled with knowledge. I would argue that we're suffering from information overload. I would argue that the Black consciousness movement is suffering from information overload. What happens when you put too much information in the computer? When you exhaust the memory, what happens to the computer? It malfunctions. It malfunctions because you overloaded the database with a whole bunch of useless shit. And that's exactly what we do in the Black consciousness. We overwhelm our people with a whole bunch of useless shit. It's information overload. And guess what else happens to the computer? When you put too much information in the computer, you also affect the ability to do what? Process, to operate. You got so much rammed in that now the computer can't even process because you got too much stored. So you got to take some of that out so the computer can process what's in it. And that's the problem. We have no analysis. We have no analysis. We have a paralysis of analysis. Nobody's doing any assessments. Nobody's assessing the Black political, the Black economic. Where are the assessments taken? Who's doing the analytical work? Nobody. You know why? Because you got so much information coming at you, there's no time for analysis. So the whole Black community is suffering from an information overload. You don't have time to process it. You don't have time to think about it. And 85% of it is dead knowledge. So guess what? We're malfunctioning because we're being inundated with information we don't even use and don't even need because it ain't helping us get our liberation. If none of we built the pyramid, ain't helping us get free. Why are we talking about it? That's where we got to come from. You know, I'm very pragmatic, and I want all of our people to be pragmatic, and we're going to teach our boys at F.D.M.G to be pragmatic. There's nothing wrong with sitting around debating the sun, moon, and stars. There's nothing wrong sitting around debating Pan-Africanism versus socialism. There's nothing wrong with debating the Moors and the gods of earth. There's nothing wrong with debating the Rastafari and the Nation of Islam. All we're saying is there's a time and a place for everything. If you are at war, you do not take significant time out from the war to debate issues and topics that are not immediately relevant to winning that war.
Wow. Another question. This is kind of a sidebar question, not what we're talking about. Brother want to know, I guess he's an educator or whatever. He wants to know, will a LinkedIn profile link suffice as a resume?
No, a resume means you email it as a resume with a cover letter with a picture. We ain't doing no LinkedIn's. No, sir.
All right.
I'm very old-fashioned. I'm very much a watch. I grew up an educator. Do things old school. Send your resume, send me the picture. I'm not doing no LinkedIn and none of that.
All right. That's your answer, brother. You got to send that resume in. None of that LinkedIn crap. So now that, now that F.D.M.G, is this gonna hurt your touring schedule, your speaking schedule, because you have all this stuff going on with F.D.M.G?
Because we are evolving. This is evolution. Remember, there can't be no revolution without evolution. Evolution is the root word of revolution. I am evolving. Listen, our people have had Dr. Umar on tour for 10 consecutive years. I've been to every continent, most countries, most major cities of Black people around the world. Okay, like I can't lecture forever because although that's important, it is not more important than building the next generation of revolutionary African intellectuals. You see? So it ain't hurting it. It's just that people are now going to have to come to F.D.M.G to hear me speak. That's what's going to happen. Instead of me coming to y'all going to come to me. I'll probably operate like Booker T. Washington, where twice a month I will have a seminar. And if you care enough to see me speak in person, you will fly to Philadelphia International Airport and drive 15 minutes to the F.D.M.G Academy School, and you will hear me live. So the people are going to have to come to me if they want to see me. Will there still be some traveling? Of course. Okay, of course. Saturdays and Sundays, Friday nights, maybe once or twice a month, I might have to take off a day from work to go and speak at an HBCU. I may have to take off and fly to Africa, go to London, those types of things. So I will still be speaking, but it won't hardly be what I've been doing these past 10 years. There will be nothing like that because I have to be on site to educate the children. And even on the weekends, we will be doing programs with the children. So I will still be speaking, but I'm telling you, it's going to be, right now I probably speak about 150 times a year. Once F.D.M.G opens, I'll probably speak about 12 times a year. There's going to be about a 95% reduction in the amount of speaking engagements because it's necessary. You have to sacrifice in order to achieve your dreams. And I'm going to have to sacrifice the speaking.
So far as F.D.M.G goes, will it be a continuing campaign to, for donations, for it to come in to keep the lights on and keep the water turned on and, all that kind of stuff?
Well, there are loan options that I could entertain, but I don't want to. Because anyone who knows anything about venture capital loans, they rape you. That's why people don't like to take out business loans because, they don't regulate business loans like they regulate home loans and student loans. It ain't like that. Like they can literally rape you. That's why they say, you could have bought 10 F.D.M.Gs by the time you pay off that loan from the bank. I don't want to, we got this school. We got a school, 4 buildings, 2 schools without a loan. We've come a long way. I don't want to walk down that road because it's slavery. That road is slavery. That means I have to give them the deed until they get paid back. And that type of loan, who knows? Our kids might be paying that back long after I'd have been back to the ancestors. I don't want to leave no legacy like that, and I shouldn't have to. Honestly, we shouldn't even have to have that conversation. It's sad that we got to have a conversation. Why does Dr. Umar Johnson got to take out a loan for $2 or $3 million when Black people are a $2 trillion people? Why? If we spend $2 billion a year on Air Jordans, why do he got to take out a loan to educate our kids? We spend $4 billion on liquor and alcohol, but he needs a loan. Black women, over $20 billion on weave and perm, but he needs a loan. Black men, $2 billion on Timberland boots, but he needs a loan. We spend $1 billion on, is it $1 billion? I think it is $1 billion on fast food every year, and I got to take out loan money from a white bank. Sad we in a situation like that. I'll push that button if I have to push that button, but we're a long way from there. To be honest with you, brother, I would rather wait and open up F.D.M.G 3-4 years from now than take out a loan. I'd rather be free in 5 years than a slave for 50. I'd rather be free in 5 years than be a slave for 50. But I have faith in our people. Like I said, we deposited $7,000 in donations today. You know, we need more, much, much more. I'm hoping everybody listening to the show goes on their phone right now and types in cash.me/$FDMG school. I repeat, cash.me/$FDMG school. And I hope they start donating right now. I just hope every day folks do that. You know, I got 440,000 followers on Instagram. If every one of them gave me $5, brother, do you know that we would be done? We would be done. I got 407,000 followers on Facebook. If every one of them gave me $5, I mean, it's a shame because the money is right there. We spend it on everything but the right things. And I'm just hoping that our people come through for me. But they came through for me once. We got to school. I need them to come through for me one more time. Let's renovate the school.
Yeah, and I think that now, I think that people will, I think black folks they're gonna impress us, man. I really think they're gonna impress us this time, man. I'm hopeful that we're gonna be really impressed, man. Now that you have the physical school, I think they're gonna impress us, man, and surprise us, man. You know, I think y'all are going to surprise us, okay? Y'all are going to fund this school. Y'all going to make sure the doc have all the money that he need to do the things he need to do so he can teach these young boys some real stuff, not the crap they've been learning in the public educational system all these years. They're going to learn some real stuff, and I'm going to be impressed with what black folks do with this school. I'm speaking it into existence, as my grandmother used to say. You know, for real. Somebody want to know, how much do you think you're going to need for the renovations, Doc?
$1 million. The renovations will cost $1 million if we're going to renovate all 4 buildings. If we do it in piecemeal, okay, then we can renovate the small school building with about $300,000. We can do the small school. The large school needs $500,000. So there go 8, and then with the other 2 buildings, you're looking at about 100,000. That's how you get your $1 million. 5, 3, 1, and 1.
Okay, y'all know it seems like a lot of money, but with all of us that's on media and on YouTube, that's not a lot of money at all.
Brother,
it's really not.
You heard yesterday, right? But one of the cathedrals burned down in Paris, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Or Italy?
Yeah, Notre Dame. France,
France, right?
France, yep.
Yeah, Notre Dame Cathedral burned. Do you know, my brother? They raised, was it 13 million or 13 billion? It was one or the other. They raised it in 24 hours to rebuild that damn palace.
Yep.
24 hours, black man. They raised it was either 13 million or 13 billion, but we'll take the low number. Let's go with the million. They raised, do you know what that is? If you divide 13 million by 24 hours, how much was they getting a minute?
Wow.
You know what I mean? They were getting about $100,000 a minute. That's what the French people did for France. That's what French people all around the world did for France. I don't even need a fraction of that, brother. It goes to show how serious we are. We're not a serious people. Remember when Darren Wilson murdered our brother Michael Brown?
Yes.
White folks raised, I believe they raised $2 million in a week for him. $2 million to pay for his defense so he didn't go to jail for killing our brother. I mean, look at how strongly they come out for their own. And look at how strongly we come out for our own. Now, if there was somebody else doing what I was doing, I would understand it. Because you got a couple people, so the excuse could be, well, they didn't support you, but they supported so-and-so. I'm the only one doing what I'm doing. There is no 2 Umars in this country. No. You got more than one holistic health person. You got more than one person talking history. You got more than one person talking white supremacy. You understand? You got more than one person talking economics. Everybody has a backup. I don't have a backup. There's not another Dr. Umar. There's nobody you can name who does what I do. Nobody. I'm the only certified school psychologist in the conscious community, period. I'm the only one who bought a school from the gut, independent, no white money, period. There isn't no number two for me. There's a lot of people making documentaries. There's a lot of people holding debates. There's a lot of people regurgitating Egypt. Who's my backup? Who's the number two? Who's doing what Dr. Umar doing? Nobody. I'm solo. So there is no excuse for why I didn't get the support, because I'm the only one. And you can't say, well, he ain't got the credentials. Please, this man got the credentials, been a principal, graduated from some of the top universities in this country. Can't use that. He got the experience, got the know-how, got it all. What? There's no excuse. Well, he never helped nobody. Drop your mind, this boy saved 4 black kids and any single black man you can name living on this planet right now. He's empowered and supported 4 black parents than any other person you can name in this country that's alive right now. There is no excuse when you mention me. There's nothing they can point to, nothing at all. Everything is checked. Every box is checked. Every one. It's simply because we don't value it. Isn't it amazing that black people are $2 trillion, my brother? And you have less than 24 independent black schools in America. That's sad. $2 trillion people. And you only have an independent school for every other state. One independent school for every other state. That's who we are. Every black person knows about special ed and what it's doing. We know about the dropout. We know about the poor reading skill. We know about the school to prison. We know about the riddling. We know about the police brutality. We know about the disciplined schools. Massive. We know what they're doing to our boys. And guess what? 24 independent schools for 50 million black people, who are the richest group of black people on the planet. Absolutely unacceptable. That's why I don't take it personal, my brother, because it ain't really because they got a problem with me. They got a problem with we. Black people refuse to prioritize black excellence. I'm going to say it again. Black people refuse to prioritize black excellence. And one of the main reasons we refuse to prioritize black excellence is because we're afraid that somebody's going to end up doing better than us, so we rather not help nobody.
Bingo. I got another question for you, Doc, from Brother Rob. He wants to know, will F.D.M.G Academy operate free of local, state, and federal funding?
Of course. That goes without saying. I mean, isn't that the whole purpose? I mean, for Pan-Africanism, Garvey, why do you think I could have had 20 charter schools by now if I wanted to do that. I could have had 20 charter schools by now. So, I mean, I'm not faulting the brother. He probably just don't know who I am and what I stand for, but I kind of thought that would just go without saying. But yes, we will. That's what independent means. You're independent. You don't get funding from public sources.
Okay. So, I know we only go until 12 o'clock. So I guess if you want, Doc, you can go down and go and run down, your speaking engagements, your information, give them the information for the donate link and all that. Go ahead and just run it down on them.
No doubt. So on the speaking engagements, brothers and sisters can go and buy their tickets right now. Tickets are up for everything at DrUmarJohnson.com, DrUmarJohnson.com. Children are always free at my events. 17 and under, they don't need a ticket. 65 and older, elders, they don't need a ticket. For every Dr. Umar event, I do not charge you to bring the children. I do not charge you to bring the elders out. So, Cleveland, Ohio, Saturday, April 27th. Dayton, Ohio, Sunday, April the 28th. Prince George's County Community College, Thursday, May 2nd. Newark, New Jersey, Sunday, May 5th. Hartford, Connecticut, Malcolm X Day, Sunday, May 19th. Selma, Alabama, Sunday, May the 26th. National Independent Black Parent Association Advocate Training, Wilmington, Delaware, June 8th and 9th. Nashville, Tennessee, June 23rd. Charlotte, North Carolina, June 6th. Long Island, New York. Charlotte, North Carolina, July 6th. Long Island, New York, July 14th. You have to get those tickets from the Akin Entertainment Group /Ticket Leap. Those are not Dr. Umar events. I'm the keynote, but I'm not the sponsor. So for Charlotte and Long Island, you get your tickets at the ICANN Entertainment Groups /TicketLeap. Okay, or you can email them at info@ICANNentertainmentgroup.com. So Charlotte, July 6th, Long Island, July 14th, Ghana, West Africa, July 24th to August 5th. Again, if anyone wants to go, text me for the information. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, August the 10th. Jacksonville, Florida, August the 30th. Orlando, Florida, August the 31st. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, September 1st. Chicago, African Arts Festival, September 1st. Brussels, Belgium, September 7th. Zambia, Africa, September the 25th. Seattle, Washington, October the 6th. Bahamas, October the 9th. Tulsa, Oklahoma, November the 2nd. Oklahoma City, November the 3rd. Albany, New York, November the 9th. Brazil, November the 20th. Swaziland, Africa, December the 6th. Donate, donate, donate. Cash.me/$FDMG School or P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. Artists, singers, poets, spoken word, and rap. Don't forget, June 1st is the deadline. June 1st is the deadline. If you want to perform a piece in the documentary, or if you want to submit a piece for the documentary and or the mixtape or soundtrack, you have until June 1st to email me your piece. If you plan to perform, I need to see you singing, rapping, or speaking your piece. If you plan to be taped to perform, that needs to be a video. If you're submitting for the soundtrack, the mixtape, or the documentary, I don't need a video of you. I just need the music, instrumental as well as the regular track. So if you're performing, want to perform, I need the video. If you're just submitting music for the soundtrack and the mixtape, all I need is the music. June 1st is the deadline. We're going to make this mixtape the hottest mixtape of the summer. Black Consciousness for the War Against Black Boys. F.D.M.G. We here, baby. We at the finish line. We just got to cross it. Send those donations in. It's our time. Quadricentennial, 400 years. Let's do this for our ancestors.
Do it. Do it.
And if anybody needs to reach me, they can text me, 215-989-9858. I repeat, 215-989-9858. If they want to text me, they can email me, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. Tickets at drumarjohnson.com. And that's how they can get Twitter at Dr. Umar Johnson, Instagram at Dr. Umar Johnson, Facebook. I use my Yoruba last name, so it's Dr. Umar Ifatunde on Facebook. IFATUNDE. Dr. Umar Ifatunde on Facebook.
All right. Doc, you know it's always a pleasure when you come through, brother. You know we'll be talking because you know we talk behind the scenes. We'll be talking.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you coming through, Doc. And Charlotte, I'm there. When you come to Charlotte, I'm there.
It's going to be crazy, brother. 4
Oh,
long
yeah.
years.
Absolutely.
4 long
Absolutely.
years, Charlotte. I'm coming hard.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping a new book will be done by the Black Parent Advocate, The Art of War for Dealing with America's Racist Public and Charter Schools.
Okay, I want my signed copy too, Doc.
I got you.
Yeah, and if y'all decide to come to the Queen City to see the Doc, you can catch your X there too, because X will be down there with all the TPOT camera shit. So come on through Charlotte, July 6th, right, Doc? July 6th.
Yes, sir. Saturday, July 6th.
Get your tickets to the Doc show. And yep, get your tickets to the Doc show. And after Doc show, guess what? I'm gonna be out there with my cameras and shit, interviewing folks in the whole nine. So come on to the Queen City. Who knows? I might even buy you a beer. Who knows? So come through July 6th to the Queen City. All right. And yeah, I'm so you're coming into town the day before, right, Doc? You're coming in.
That's the plan. Unless I have a speaking event that day,
okay,
then it'll be early morning. But I plan to come in the day before, so we'll probably do the interview either the day before or the morning after before I bounce.
Okay, I got you. I just hit you up. I hit you up. But once again, I appreciate you coming through, Doc, man. This is big, man. It's always a pleasure.
Problem, bro.
You're always welcome on the old TPOT. platform, Doc. And
Yes, sir.
I'll be talking to you, man.
Appreciate you, brother. Be safe.
My brother, peace.
All right.
Yeah. Just got off the phone with Dr. Umar Johnson. Those of you who follow the Proper Thought series, y'all know me and the doc, we all right. So, you know, of course, I'm going to go down there and get my damn interview from his ass and get up into that spot free like I always do when he's speaking down here. But, yeah, I want to know what y'all thought, man. What are y'all thoughts on the doc and all of that? I don't know if y'all want to come up on the panel. I see my man, Jay Shine, in the goddamn house. What's good, brother Jay Shine? I'm about to send Jay Shine the goddamn link because I need to chop it up with my man for a few minutes. Try to catch him for he go to bed and shit. You know? Oh, well, shit, where he at? He probably just getting up. Talking about going to bed. He probably just getting up. Like just waking up. Hold on, I'm about to send my man Jay Shine the link. Anybody else want the link? Just put a 7 in the chat room and I'll send it to you because I got, like, you know how we do it on YouTube. Everybody's got everybody's goddamn email. So put a 7 in there and I'll send you the link too if you want to hop up in and do some I don't know. We're just going to do a little recap of tonight's interview. Check email, brother Jay Shine, if you want to come on. So anybody else want to come through? We're going to do a little recap of the Dr. Umar Johnson interview that just took place on the TPOT YouTube page. TUD, you want it too? I got you, brother. Let's see. Send to my man TUD. Everybody check your email. Whoever want to come up on here and do a little recap, check your email, brother Jay Shine. Check your email, brother TUD. All right. Anybody else, just let me know if you want to come through. I'll send you the link too. Because like I said, y'all know we got everybody's. Everybody has everybody else's freaking email on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I think it went well. I mean, you know, the doc, you know, he's finally got the school we knew he was going to get it. And now he's got it. So now he's not campaigning for the school anymore. He's campaigning for, you know, getting the lights turned on, getting the place renovated, do the plumbing and the lighting and, you know, all that other kind of structural stuff. Because y'all heard what he said. He said the school was vandalized. So, you know, it has some plumbing things going on, some electrical things going on, you know, and of course some cleanup. So, I mean, we need to go ahead and throw the doc a few dollars, you know, and try to help him get that going, you know, because now he's, like I said, he's not campaigning for the school. He's campaigning for getting the school up and operational. And I'm glad, man. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm glad to hear it that he finally got it, you know, that he's finally doing it. He's really doing it. I mean, he's really doing it, man. I watched the video, you know, he went up in there, you know, and he was talking about what they're going to be doing there and all that kind of stuff. But y'all heard that tonight. If you didn't, go ahead, you know, rewind, you know, and go ahead and check out everything. I mean, because, you know, Doc always has a lot of good shit to say when he comes through. But I see my brother starting to file in. What's good, brother Jay Shine, brother TUD? What's going on, man?
What's good, brethren? What's going on?
Same old shit, man. Just chopping it up with the doc. Shoot, he had told me earlier, he was like, "Oh, X, I'm only gonna stay for an hour." Shit, man, he stayed up here till damn midnight.
That's what's up.
I can always get him to stay longer, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
What's
to get
good?
I'm gonna have to get that playback and hear what y'all was talking about. I literally just woke up and then saw you were still live streaming. So
Yeah, I had said it. I was like, damn, catch Jay Shine before he go to bed. And I was like, wait a damn minute. He's just getting up.
yeah, it's 6:08 over here, baby. It's 6 a.m. in the morning over here. Yeah.
You on that Europe time and shit, man. So what do you think? I mean, from what you heard, I don't know how long you came in, but what are your thoughts on the doc, man, and the things he had to say?
Well, I got to hit the playback. I've been listening to him on other platforms, so I kind of know where he stands on things. Congratulations, to getting to school, and I hope everything goes well with that. So I'm, to be diplomatic about it. I want, brothers to succeed in what they're doing. You know what I mean? We definitely need more schools like the one he's trying to put together. That's about Africanness, blackness. We need that. So that's not something to play with or to shit on. And anybody in the area should lend them a hand. You know what I mean? Help clean the place up. Provide security, shit like that. The only issue I have with Umar, right now is with Dr. Umar, excuse me, is this issue with ADOS, and I don't want to turn this into like a whole nother thing, but that's really the only issue I got with him right now, because I don't understand how anybody, black that comes from descendant of slaves would have a problem with that. Pan-Africanism is good. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I plan on doing business in Africa soon. That's one of my goals in the next 3-4 years, to do business in the continent. Me and my brother from New Jersey, he's an awarded architect. He has $1 million business, multi-million-dollar business in New Jersey. I'm an AV engineer, and I do what I do for the Department of Defense. So we're serious brothers who have serious skill sets. And I was just chopping it up on O'Shea's stream in the chat room yesterday, and he had this chick on there was with the Airbnb stuff. So businesses got to be the mindset of black people. And I'm in Europe right now handling my business, but I plan on doing business back on the continent. So Pan-Africanism is a good thing if that's what you want to be about, but that has nothing to do with my claim to this wretched beast and what they've done to us for 400 years on the continent. In this country, in America. To be against that, to me, makes 0 sense. 0 cents. You are owed a debt. My great-grandmother and my great-grandparents suffered in this country. My bloodline goes back to the 1700s in this country. I am old. I know exactly where I come from. I come from a plantation in Georgia, and I come from a plantation in Louisiana. On both sides of my family, I know my history. I think a lot of people should do the same. You know what I mean? So I'm not forfeiting that. And besides, it's also a help to Pan-Africanism, because whatever we do here, whatever we get accomplished here in America, always has helped the diaspora and the black, in the black diaspora, excuse me. Everything we do in America has helped blacks around the world. So a lot of things are happening right now that need to happen. For instance, when we talk about these immigrants running around here, black immigrants, who for some reason got offended by ADOS, that needed to be addressed, because black people were coming to this country, to our country, that we fought for, where they can only be because we're black, because black people allowed it and fought for it. Because if you go back to the first, 5 naturalization acts, which is basically immigration law, it was only for white people. We changed that. So to be in America is only because of us. And not only to be in America is because of black people and civil rights and everything we've done for hundreds of years, and all the bullets and dogs and hoses we took, and all the disrespect and murder that we had to go through to allow black people to come into this country. To be non-white in America is because of black people. So to put that mental down and not respect that and not fight for that makes 0 sense to me. So I understand where a lot of brothers are coming from with, being black and being African and being in the diaspora, but you can't fight white supremacy as a global threat. That's not how it works. You got to fight it where you are, especially in Africa where they have nation states. Those nations can go to Germany, they can go to Belgium, they can go to France, and they can fight back in certain ways. What are we supposed to do in America? Fight everybody else's fight? We have our own claim and fight right here. And again, everything we do in America helps everybody else. Everybody else benefits in the black diaspora because whatever leaps and gains that we get in America will help those in Jamaica, will help those in Haiti, will help those in South America, Africa. And another thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make sure I'm clear on this. Everything that we have done to support everybody else's fight around the world was never shut down by Pan-Africanists. For instance, if you want to find a Julius Malema shirt outside of South Africa, the most Malema shirts you're going to find right here in America. You're going to fight right in the United States. We always support everybody else's fight. Now support your own. And these black African immigrants who come to here in this country, whether they're African or they're from the Caribbean, you support our fight. And shut the fuck up because you owe us a debt. You owe us respect. The fact that you even in America is because of us. We tend to your businesses. We go into Jamaican shops. We buy all those foods. You fly your Jamaican flag. You fly your Guyanese flag. You fly your Trinidadian flag. And we say nothing. We don't get offended because you have a right to respect your culture, your heritage, and where you come from, and where your lineage comes from. So why would you come here and disrespect us? And again, why would you be a natural-born black person who has lineage to the slave trade in America and disrespect your own? That's what I have to say.
Would have to agree, man. I would have to agree, my brother. Brother TUD, what's good, man?
What's good with you? Long time, brother. Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while, brother. What's going on?
I'm all right, just grinding for our people. And peace out to Jay Shine as always, brother. Always a pleasure.
Peace to you, JT, man. Good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, man. Go on, Jay Shine. Go on, Jay Shine. What he's talking about. I'm all about our people, one flag. And I'm sick and tired that we fight these phantom fights for a long time. And when the time is when we stick up for our rights for 400 plus years, that other diaspora of black around the world that have a problem with that. And it's not new. And the question I would say to them, what flag did you want to be under? Do you want to be on the oppressive flag or you want to be on the African flag? That's what it comes down to. We always been a patriot of supporting other black diaspora businesses. And at times we don't get nothing back. And that is a conversation that we got to have. And it's to me, it's like, personally, being 53, I'll be 53 within a month and a half, that I see things. And for us as the people in this country, it's not getting better. And it's not getting better because we can always go at each other. Oh, you don't support my business. All right, that's cool and everything, but the brothers and sisters that come from other diaspora of us, they take in the money and they bring it back to their country. And when we going to have that conversation? And I know there's going to be some going to be offended, but what it is what it is. My late father was a chef. Right, he have a little restaurant on Ocean Avenue, right on Herkimer, back in the '60s, and he got forced out for a brother from Jamaica because of politics. And I'm not saying my late father probably hide it, but it hurt him. And we like I say before, that gotta stop playing the fence. You gonna be with us or you're not gonna be with us. Stop climbing the fence then you want to jump over the fence with us. Then when things get hot, you want to jump your ass right back over that fence to oppress us. No, gotta stop it. Gotta stop it. And so, I'm happy that you had Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm wishing him the best. I did have some questions about him in the past, but it's about time that we have a school for little boys. And something happened to me, but I'm okay. But we gotta save our little boys. We have to save our little boys. And if our community do not support our little boys, that means you don't support the brothers.
Right.
And that's the way I feel.
And I say support the school, man. Even if you got issues, like I got issues with Dr. Umar Johnson as far as some of the things that he stands for. But when it comes to the school, there's no daylight between me and that brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's no daylight. There's no daylight. This is about business. There's too much emotional nonsense going on in the Black diaspora. We talk about saving boys. We talk about manhood, right? So get on your manhood shit. I don't care how you feel about that brother, man. If you in that area, you help him.
Yeah.
You help him do the job. It's not about him. It's about the boys. If this is what you really care about, and let him do him, but you do what you're supposed to do to help them boys.
Yeah, because it's about the work, man. It ain't about him anymore.
Exactly. And I'm tired of hearing that too. Like I could have my issues with Dr. Umar Johnson, and maybe one day I might run into the brother and we might have a debate. I don't know. But the bottom line is that's that. You know what I mean? When it comes to the boys, though, there should be no daylight between you and him.
Right.
Zero.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and at the same time, don't change the subject. Family, it's like, all due respect, we always support little girls in our community, but it seems like when it comes to little boys, it's always to change the subject. No more. Support the little boys. Fight for the little boys.
We gotta stop letting Black society neglect Black boys. We gotta stop that shit. I mean, we really have to stop that. We have to stop Black boys being marginalized. We have to stop them being ostracized. All right. And we have to stop them from being unfairly treated as far as the educational system goes. And another thing we have to do as far as Black boys go is stop shaming them for acting like little boys. Stop saying they're hyperactive and they got ADD and all this kind of nonsense. We have to stop that shit too.
Yeah.
Because all we're doing is suppressing their masculinity, man. That's all we're doing. I mean, maybe people don't think that way, but we are suppressing these young boys' masculinity. It's bad enough that they're doing it in school. They have taken recess out, they've taken shop out, they've taken, carpentry out and all this kind of nonsense, things that give boys a chance to, release some of that masculine energy. They're taking all of that shit out and they got them sitting around doing basket weaving. They got them doing knitting, crocheting, and all this kind of nonsense. All right. So that's something else we need to stop doing because the schools are already doing it. So we need to stop doing it when they're home with us too. All right. Because the doc spoke about this, that America is on a mission to effeminize the Black man. But we already knew this. We knew this already. We talk about this shit all the time. Right. They want to make the Black man effeminate. Why? So they can neutralize the threat of the Black man. I mean, it's as simple as that. And what better way to do it is to get them when they're young. Effeminize them when they're young. Then they don't got to worry about them when they get to be 20, 30, 40, 50. Because, see, they've been feminizing them ever since they were 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? So that's something we need to concentrate on, too, as well.
You know where I'm about to go with that, right? In the first line of defense is who?
Us.
Well, no, they're mothers, man.
Them, brother Jay Shine.
I got
you.
To X, man.
You
listen,
know how I am. You know
man.
how I am about these. Mamas.
Let me ask you a question, man. When that little white boy goes and rapes a woman behind the dumpster, or when that one little white boy killed all them people and a car crash, and then he was given a psychiatrist gave him that new flu, affluenza. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is, they
affluenza.
protect their boys, man. The women protect their children. All right. And look, we've taken on this thing in Black society because we took on this Western nonsense that women don't do shit. Like it's not a woman's job to pump her own gas. And what the fuck are you talking about? You go to Africa, there are women carrying 50 pounds on their fucking head.
Yeah.
All right. And back in the village, men work and women work. All right. Men were the protectors in the warrior class. The warrior class is under assault right now. And right now, with this baby mama issue, we need sisters to either let their sons go. Because again, how many women are going to let their kids actually go to the school? You see what I'm saying? And how many women think about, we're in America, so we're under this government. How many Me Too issues might pop up at the school? How many outsiders might come to the school and say what Dr. Umar is doing is detrimental to the children? Are the women going to stand up and push back? Or they're going to go along with the flow? So we got to get our sisters on this war footing because we're in a war right now, and she's chilling. She's collecting child support, WIC, and all kind of shit, and tooting her ass up, and worrying about weaves and twerking. And meanwhile, her sons, her boys are being murdered. Her boys are being targeted, and they're the ones enrolling them in these schools. They're the ones not doing anything or saying anything. Just like the same way you could talk about the mothers that have said anything. Again, bring up Dr. Umar Johnson. He's going into schools and help some mothers deal with their children and deal with schools that were doing foul shit to kids. Those are mothers who spoke up. You see what I'm saying? Those are mothers who did their job. They came to a brother to get help. Then let's talk about the vast majority who don't do that.
Yeah.
They just let it happen. They let it continue to happen. They're not protecting our boys. So now we got a class of men being raised under baby mamaism who are not going to be defenders, who are not going to be protectors, and not going to be warriors. Look, we're not fucking babies that are brought here on a stork. You know what I'm saying? We're not full-grown men who are just dropped in the community. We are children who come out of Black wombs, who are raised in certain environments to become what we are. So when we complain about men, well, we gotta go to the source. Because we can't just bogart our way into a home and be a father. We know we already hashed this out. Now, on the flip side, I would tell men right now, grown-ass men, to one, watch where they put their seed. You know what I mean? Two, do what you can to get your seed and be there for your seed. You know what I'm saying? I can push that all day because you know what I'm about. You know what I've done in my life. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is that we're in a situation where, mothers are not acting like mothers no more. And they keep throwing it back at the men when they have all the power and all the responsibility has been given to them. And we need to get them on the right path. And I know it sounds like we're attacking Black women when we go that route, but look, we're at war right now. I don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. Give a shit about nobody's feelings. We're talking about our children. And we need men to step up and be fathers, and we need mothers to be mothers. And if you're not gonna be a fucking mother, I'm calling that shit out. Because we got a whole community of emotional, no disciplined children, men and women, who are no discipline, who are out of line, who are ratchet, ain't shit. And that's coming from one place. These fatherless homes.
Well, you know me, man. You know how biased I am against these old mamas. All right. Yeah. And a lot of those, like you said, a lot of those young boys who go to those schools, they probably won't even be coming from these old mamas, sending them there. These young boys that go to that school will be more than likely young boys who have, their fathers in their lives. Now, there'll be some women, there'll be a few here and there. But for the most part, man, it's going to be brothers who want to send their young sons to a school where they can learn an African curriculum. I mean, these mamas don't give a shit, man, about these boys' education, man. They don't care. They can care less. Why do you think there's so many of our Black children in schools right now that can't even read on grade level, can't do math on grade level? You know why? Because the whole time that this kid was home with her Black ass, all right, She wasn't teaching this kid colors, numbers, letters, how to write his name, how to hold a pencil, none of that shit. Now he 4 years old, he can cuss. Yeah, he can cuss you right out. But when he go to school, he don't even know how to hold a pencil. He can't even write his damn name. He can't count. He don't know colors. He can't tell time. He can't tie his shoes. See, don't get me started. Don't get me started with these old mamas, boy. Because you know how I feel about these old mamas.
And then brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson or myself or whoever who have done big brother programs like I've done in the past, we got to come and clean it up. See, look, there's people who talk about this shit, but they don't deal with it. Like when me, Anthony, and a few brothers in Virginia were running big brother programs back in DC a few years ago, we were dealing with it. We were dealing with, what I'm saying? We were putting our hat in the ring. We were dealing with it. We saw it up close. And like we saw the bullshit that we were dealing with. We saw the women who would bring their kids around, but then would get in the way of some of the teachings we would do. They would try to push back on some of the things we would teach them, or they would try to fuck one of us. You understand?
Yeah.
This is the shit that's going on that we don't want to address. And I'm telling you right now, it does not make you a fucking man not to address it.
Yeah. I got a story. One time, it was my birthday last year. I was doing shopping, and I noticed it was this young boy. He said, "Mommy, can I get this? Can I get a potato chip?" I said, "Hell no, motherfucker, you ain't getting no potato chip. But I'm about her. I'm about her because I don't like your father." So I'm pushing my cart. I said, "Nah, fuck this." I did. I said, "How the fuck they talk to your son like that? You want some potato chips? How dare you? Wherever you got between you and him, that's you and him. He came out of you, right? Yeah." I said, "You fucking bitch." Or I said every name, and they say, no, you wrong. And you wonder why our little boys react a certain way. And he cried. And he ran to me, said, Can I come home with you?"
Did you take him?
I tried. I did.
He'd have been better off than with his old mama.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, y'all. That a lot of these sisters women don't understand. We go through that as men.
Yeah.
It teared me up like, yo, you gotta go. And then she called the cops on me and told me I try to take her son. I said, I ain't trying. What are you talking about? You cursed at him and you punched him in his face. What the fuck you talking about? Why? Let me punch you in your fucking face. And I'll never forget my youngest godson. He said, "Come on, God, Dad. Yeah, this grown up folks business. Wait for me outside." He said, "I want to come home. I'll be a good boy." And so, and the young girl said, he. She laughing. He. She know he. But see, I want people to understand this. These are the stories that us as black men, we deal with it.
Right.
We deal with that. We go home and breaking up. We want to take the sons. But see, you want to blame us, talking about, oh, we ain't stepping up, but you want to punch a young child because he just wants some chips. He just want to build some chips because he see his sister get whatever she wants. But I think it's okay. No, it's not okay.
Well, that's these old mamas. I mean,
let's flip it though. Let's flip it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a single father. I got custody of my daughter. And if my daughter turns out to be a ratchet hoe, disrespectful little bitch, when she's in her 20s, whatever the case might be, I can't turn around and blame everybody else. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, I would never talk about this from a standpoint, because, we got a lot of people who run around YouTube and talk about something they're not doing. You know what I mean? They don't know what it is to be a parent. And they would chastise parents. But all right, fine. You can do that on the surface, but let's not get too deep into that unless you really know what you're talking about. I know what the responsibility is as a parent. That's why I can talk this shit. I can talk to a single mom because I'm a single parent too. You know what I mean? I can really say it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have your opinion, but what I'm saying is that I have a lot of credibility on this issue. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that has to be talked about to ad nauseum. It has to be dealt with. If you're not dealing with the single mother issue and the kids that are coming out of these homes, you're not really trying to fix the problem. I'm sorry. If you're going to talk about the children, we got to have to deal with this problem. And to deal with this problem, you can't deal with it pussyfooting around. We're dealing with a real trifling person right now, a trifling female who gives no fucks. She has no respect. She doesn't respect us as men. So to how you gonna get respect, you got to assert yourself. You understand? So would I sit here and bash dudes who are not fathers? Of course. You know the wars we had on YouTube. I have no problem cussing a nigga out. Right. None. I have no problem addressing a man. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: a society addresses men all the time, and we deal with the consequences of not "quote unquote" handling our responsibility. That's already in place. If you don't handle your responsibility, you can go to jail. You can be shitted on by the community. You can be shitted on by your family. Hell, your own mama will even turn on you if you being a deadbeat father. You know what I mean? So there's always backlash to black men not doing what they're supposed to do. The problem I have is twofold. One, there's no backlash going back the other way when we got bad mothers at the level it should be, especially since they have all the children. You would think most of it would be over that way, but it's not. That's why what makes it upside down. You know what I mean? And the second thing is a lot of it is not true. You know what I'm saying? Like when we come at black men a certain way, we don't know if it's true or not anymore. We used to think it. I used to think it all the time. Black men were the problem. I grew up thinking that. I grew up thinking black men were the problem. My father was fucked up. My father wasn't shit. So you know what I mean? I had an example right there in my life telling me, yeah, this is how brothers are getting down all the time. And then I learned, there were brothers out here doing what they're supposed to do and still being put in that category, still getting ran through the courts. Then I went through it. You know what I mean? That's the funniest thing to go through in life when you see shit happening to other people and you think you're a smart person that it won't happen to you, and then you get ran through it. You know what I'm saying? Boy. That shit is crazy how that happens. It's like watching your own movie happen to you. Oh, you know, like I'm sitting out here looking at other dudes that are getting mistreated and shit on and lied on, and then it happens to me. But we can't say nothing about this shit.
Chicks we can't say nothing about the whole nine.
It's not like we're going to a black court neither. They're going to a white man's court. That's a whole nother get down. So we talk about coons and and race traders and all that. Why are we not fucking putting that Sauron eye, the eye of Sauron on them fucking women who work with this system against her own man? And a lot of times they do it vindictively for low reasons, not even real reasons. They don't do it for like high reasons. They do it for real low reasons, just because they feel a certain way or because they want a little bit of paper. You see it on Maury all the time, just for paternity tests. As soon as the motherfucker find out the kid is his, child support. It's got nothing to do. They ready to put papers on you for no. You didn't even get a chance to be a father. You didn't even get a chance to be a deadbeat. So there's nothing noble in what they're doing. There's no nobility in it. It's just doing it to be doing it. And you can't have this going on, man. We got brothers who are working, sitting in jail over child support. We got the highest rate of that going on in Black America. There's a lot of shit going on in Black America that we're not talking about that affects us daily. And you can't ignore it for platitudes.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man, because, I've seen brothers, I went to that child support shit too. That's why I'm glad all my kids are grown now and that shit is over. But I've seen brothers, man. Yeah. I have seen brothers that have lived with a woman for 5, 6, 7 years, barely had a job, played motherfucking PlayStation all day long, got a kid, by this woman. She go out, she work every fucking day, and she don't have a problem with it. She rocking all the bills and doing all this bullshit right now. It gets better. This is the kicker. Now, once the nigga decide to leave or get him another bitch, now she wants child support from the same nigga that she let live in her house for 6, 7 years when she wasn't thinking She wasn't thinking about no child support when he was laying around in there playing PlayStation 10 hours a day. She wasn't thinking about child support when her ass was running out to work and he was just sitting around in his boxes all day and smoking weed and shit like that. But now once the nigga done left, now she talking about child support, something that she never got from the nigga while he was there. But now that he's gone, she's screaming child support. That's what leads me to believe that a lot of times when these women talk to child support shit, it ain't about the money, it ain't about the kid. It's about taking pot shots at your damn life. That's what it's about. Yeah. All right? Taking pot shots at a brother's life. All right? Because I know I paid outrageous amounts of child support when I was a younger guy, because I made a lot of money. All right? I made a lot of money. And they were taking outrageous amounts of money from my black ass. But I'm telling you, they were killing me.
Yeah, you know, X-Men, let me go deeper, man. Like, you know, here's the thing about getting in their own way. Getting their own way. When we talk about supporting YouTube channels, right? You know, donations. When we talk about supporting movements like Dr.Umar School or anything like that, it makes it harder to do that, especially for black men, when they're fucking a 30-day check or a half-day check is being garnished.
Yeah.
And then that money is being spent by people who are already irresponsible. And they're taking that money and being a conduit to other communities. So you got a sister that's getting child support and she's throwing your money at white companies, Arab companies, Asian companies on bullshit like here. We're not talking about the economics of this. So when niggas talk about schools and getting the community together, you can't talk about none of that without getting the economics together. And one of the biggest economic hits that we're taking in our society right now is the fact that we don't practice economics, all right? And one of the biggest ways we don't practice economics, and I hate to say it, is through our women. Our women are the biggest consumers in the country. They say it's black community, yeah, but really that's the mass of that is our women. Our women shop like I don't know what. They're emotional eaters, they're emotional shoppers, all right? That stems from our struggle in this country of trying to be something, to wanting to feel like something, to wanting to feel a sense of worth. So we got into this materialistic bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now we got a sister running around here whipping her weave back and forth when it's not her. You know what I mean? We got sisters bowing down to a white standard of beauty. And while they're doing all of this, they're spending money. You know what I mean? They're spending money. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Tell me the last time you've seen an Asian family sitting in a black restaurant.
Never.
I'll wait.
Never.
I'll wait. They don't reciprocate. No one's reciprocating. So that makes you a fucking sucker. Black people, you a sucker. You a herb. I'm going to bring an old school word. The word back from the hood, from where I come from. You a fucking herb.
It's true.
A punk. A bitch. That you sit here and spend all your goddamn money with people who don't give a fuck about spending their money with you. They blatantly don't spend their money with you. You a sucker.
That's true.
So when we talk about supporting our own movements and supporting people like Dr. Umar Johnson and all that, that's after we spent all our money. They get their money off the top. And the one that helps them do that the most is our women. So we gotta get them in order.
Yeah, we got Brother Jay Sean on here now, boy. It's the dark Exodus after dark now, boy.
Yeah. And at the same time, too, and go more, and mine might switch up a little bit. And then we got to talk about these women molesting little boys in our community. When that's going to be talking about.
People don't want to talk about shit like that, man.
I'm telling you, I know, but I talk about it. They said, why are you? Because it happens.
Right.
You got these white teachers. They marry and they molesting our boys, and they married.
True.
But you want to blame your son? Oh, he must have did something. What is you talking about?
Shit, crazy.
Yeah, and so like you said, economics is all about. To me, is all about have our priorities straightened. Yeah. We don't have our priorities straight.
JT, truth of the matter is a lot of black men are scared to lead, man. They're scared. They don't understand what this requires. All right? They don't understand. If you go to other countries in the world and you watch how men control those societies, black men just don't want to step up and do that. You know? I kind of hate that I gotta agree with. Now I don't hate that I gotta agree with, but I kind of agree with Obsidian when he's been going on lately with this mama. You know, that's what it is.
And
You
these
know what I
old
mean?
mamas, boy, I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers got a big black men have a black mental mama complex. So does not help to hear a brother tell another brother, hey man, don't say that about y'all women, ain't your mother black and all that. You know, we get that from the sisters enough. But when I hear black men say it, I'm like, man, you pandering, nigga. You pandering. You pandering to nothing. You just pandering to the air because ain't no drawers about to drop because you just did that, nigga. You ain't about to get no, pussy because you just did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you just out here pandering to the wind.
Yeah.
You know? And then he's, like this is the motherfuckers don't understand what it requires to be a man. And the funny thing about it, as they're feminizing black men, most of the men in the world are macho and they women like them because they're macho. I'm over here in Europe and these men are macho as fuck. They don't make as much money as me. It's not even about the money they make. I got cab drivers over here who macho. You know, and one of the reasons why white women like black men in Europe and all that when we came over, because we came over with an edge. We came over from the South back in the day. You know, we were manly, we were chiseled. You know what I mean? We were strong. We had strong handshakes. You know what I mean? And then we came over in the hip hop generation. We were thugged out. We was exuding masculinity.
True.
So all this pipsqueak shit y'all trying to do and trying to cater and try to become something that makes a woman comfortable in America, dude, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself, man. You're making yourself small. Don't make yourself small. Spread out, nigga. Get a wide stance when you sit down, nigga. Sit like a fucking man. And crossing my legs for nobody. You understand? If I'm fucking my knees is pushing up on you, then these fucking seats are too small. I don't give a fuck. I sit with a wide stance, nigga. You know what I mean? Because I'm a man. I have that disposition. When you meet me, you know, like, all right, you know, this nigga, you know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to cower and make myself small. Why? Why is this important? And I'm going to shut up on this point. The reason why this is important that we put that in practice is because I work in the world of white men. So when I walk into that world of white men, I come in there as a man. I don't bend, I don't arch, I don't bite my tongue. I get into plenty of debates with these fucking, Tea Party, conservative white males. I've done it 100 times, man. I give them that work. And I do it with no fear because I'm a man. I walk around as a man. You understand? Now I have a grace about me. I'm not clumsy. I don't knock shit over. But I have a practice of having a wide stance no matter where I'm at. And if your boys don't have that, they can't go in this world and compete against this cracker.
It's true.
True facts.
That's very, very true, man. You see what often happens in Black society, man, and I've been talking about this for 2 weeks with the Mama's Boys series. I've been running. I think I'm gonna make that a permanent series. But I've been talking about how we got this, mama syndrome, right? And we conduct ourselves the same way we would conduct ourselves around our old mama. You know what I'm saying? If our mama was sitting there, we conduct ourselves the same way we would around her, those mama's boys. So they like making women feel comfortable. They like saying the shit that puts women at ease. They like fucking acclimating to women. Why? Because see, they see they mama in these women, and they want to protect these damn random ass women. They want to protect their whoredom. They want to protect their reputation. They want to protect their right to not have any accountability or culpability or any responsibility. Because see, I said this the other night too. A lot of times when you see this ratchet, belligerent, toxic, over the damn top behavior from these goddamn women, these dudes aren't being reminded of chicks they know or random chicks that they dated or no shit like that. They're being reminded of their old mama because their old mama wasn't shit. That's why they like to defend these old hoes. Any brother who's not a freaking mama's boy, he don't run up and try to defend the action of a bunch of old ratchet, ridiculous hoes. Only the mom that's a straight mama's boy when he trying to defend the action of these crazy ass women. I don't give a damn. I've been saying it for 2 weeks, and that's what I believe. If you taking up and defending and holding court for these old hoes who don't act with no kind of responsibility, no integrity, no honor, it's probably because you a mama's boy and that's where you came from. Your mama was the same damn way. She was a dishonorable, raggedy piece of crap hoe bag, and you see that in these goddamn women. That's why you're always trying to give them cover. You're trying to give them cover because you're protecting your old mama. That's all you're doing. But
I'm sorry.
You know, that's just my opinion.
Gotta jump in real quick because I gotta get a shower and get out of here.
I'm about to close out. So go ahead.
I was gonna say this, man, real quick. You know, if you look at the icon, I put my brother up there with his daughter. And the reason why this picture sticks out to me is because I have a similar photo with my daughter in front of the White House during Obama years. You know what I mean? And I respect fatherhood. And a lot of women who are out here loving on going back to the sisters and their mindset on this brother and talking about his brothers, because now they look at the finished product and they want to fuck that finished product, but they don't want to build a Nipsey Hussle. You understand? That's the problem. They don't want to raise a Nipsey Hussle. They want to get behind Barack Obama, a mulatto, and talk about how suave he is and how smooth he is and how handsome he is and how good he is and how smart he is and all that. But they don't want to raise Barack Obama. And that's the problem. Yeah. You understand? That picture right there I'm explaining right now is about fatherhood. You understand? I connect with that brother on fatherhood. And also, you know, the things he stood for as a man. Because I listened to a lot of Nipsey's I listened to more of his interviews than I did his music, actually. Your brother was really, you know, he had a lot to say and a lot to think about. And a lot of it was back to Pan-Africanism, was rooted in his experiences back on the continent. And he was trying to bring that to his set. That the spirit of village, working together, taking care of your own, loving on each other, breaking bread with each other. You know what I mean? And he wanted to bring that back, and he said that's how he felt. You know what I mean? Years ago in an interview, going back to Eritrea, and you know, getting that spiritual connection to each other. And he was bringing that through hip hop and talking about business. And you can't talk shit to men without hiring men. You got to be able to feed men, and that's exactly the line he was walking. You understand? You know, so I got a lot of respect for this brother. I'm going to cherish him, but mostly I'm gonna cherish what he was. He was a father. He was a leader amongst men. He rose to the ranks through his men the proper way in his society. He was a gangbanger, and he rose to the ranks as a homie, you know, putting in his work and doing what he had to do. And you can do that at every level of black manhood. No matter where you are in the black diaspora, you can follow the same trail. You rise to the top by the works you put in. All right. And then when you're done, you put other people on, you take care of your own, and you damn sure be a father to your daughters and your children. All right. So when you see that, you see an image of that, you got to wonder why our sisters are not raising that. You understand? And that's what it boils down to. Because a lot of things that they praise after the finished product is already delivered.
Yep. Exactly. But we about to close out, man. I'm glad you hopped on, brother Jay Shine, man. It's been a while, man.
I know, man.
You up on this damn stream, man.
And I apologize, and JT, I apologize, but you know, it's time difference, man. We just went through a string of exercises, and I got another one coming up in May, and then after that, you know, it's gonna be back to normal. But I'm gonna be, you know, traveling too, so I'm gonna try my best, man, to get up here, you know, every Thursday and chop it up with the brethren. I promise I'm gonna do better. I apologize for my absence and all that, man. But you've been doing a good job, X, man. I've been catching the playbacks. You've been doing a good job, man.
It's been going down the last couple of Thursdays, man. It's been going down, man. I've had some good channels, man.
We gotta get JT channel how to JT gotta get a Facebook page or something started, because his channel was crazy because he talks about topics that a lot of niggas don't talk about. You know, he was talking about jazz the other day. You thought I didn't catch that, JT? I caught it.
I done told brother TUD I'm gonna come down there and talk some shit one night.
Oh yeah, I did BB King too. I did BB King last night.
Yeah, see, he be talking about subjects and stuff like that. So you know what helped you, JT? Man, some imagery to go along with it. Put a couple pictures on the Facebook page, and then let some Facebook people come in, because you got a good topic line, man. Like you got these, like you can tell this dude's mind be spinning because he got all these different topics about
Yes,
different
topics
shit.
are different.
And you know what?
Topics are different.
And the reason I like about his topics is that they're centered in American DOS. They're centered in excellence of Black people, our history. When we talk about boxing, we talk about jazz artists, we talk about, you know, all the shit that comes from the past. He, you know, the fact that he's even talking about that shit, man, I salute him.
I appreciate that, and also, brother X, I post one of my lives in there if it's all right.
Well, go ahead, man. You already
Okay,
know.
and it was all going along with
Already know.
talking about that, brothers. Stop, if you all about manhood, stop searching for that imaginary puss.
Mhm.
I'm keeping it real. Stop. And sisters, if you all about want that man, you want to be a little, stop searching for that imaginary stick. But I'm gonna break it, boy. But y'all gotta hear. I'm just giving y'all a preview.
Okay. Well, brother, TUD, man, I'm come down there, man, and jump on one night, man, when you're down there live and shit.
Oh yeah, Man's Talk is every Friday, 9 o'clock or 9:30 too.
Okay. I might come up on there tomorrow, man.
Yeah, do that.
Might be up
All
on
right, brothers.
there.
I gotta
shit.
drop off, man. I gotta go wash my ass, man.
Brother
I'll
Jay
let y'all
Sean,
later.
peace, my brother, man. I'll hit you up, man.
Always,
All right, brother.
All
right.
Yeah, I know what it is, man. Much love, brothers.
Absolutely. Peace, my brother. Yeah, well, we about to close out.
Yeah.
My man Jay Sean just left, and I know brother TUD he about to bounce too. I want to thank all of y'all for coming out tonight, man. I want to thank the people in the chat. I want to thank my moderators, man, for doing what they got to do. Tonight was a good show. We had Dr. Umar Johnson live up in here. You already know. This right here, just a little recap, you know, of tonight's show and a little bit of our bullshit that we always do. You know you can't have a DXL without a little bit of bullshit going on, you know, and some shit talking, especially when I got my man Jay Shine up on here. But yeah, tonight was a good night, man. The doc stayed on quite a while. I had talked to him and he told me, "Oh, X, man, I'm only gonna stay for an hour." Shit, he stayed all the way up to midnight. Shit, he started at 9:45. Shit, he stayed all the way to midnight. So I was able to get him, to stay for pretty much the whole show. That was a good thing. But the doc is mad cool. You know, me and the doc, we all right. We've been knowing each other for about 5 years now. You know, we, like I said earlier, we talk pretty often. So he'll come on if I can just catch him in between his, you know, his speeches and seminars and all that shit he got going on. Yeah, what I need y'all to do, get your black behinds down at Prophet of Thought, one word, series, another word, on Facebook. That's Prophet of Thought series. That's our main page. It's a community page. Go ahead, follow the page, like the page, share the page. You can even drop me a line there because you can always catch up with old X there. And don't worry, if you leave me a message, I'm guaranteed to get back to you within 24 and 168 hours. Also, while you're down there, get on down there to the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page. That's the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get up in there. It's a fan page, it's a group page, so you don't just have to listen to X talk shit all the time. There's other people down there, they post shit. There's always good shit up there. You can listen to them talk shit too. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's right, Prophet of Thought on Instagram. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. You guaranteed to get a follow back. And here we come with the coup de grace, this Twitter thing. Because I'm not going to stop getting on y'all about this Twitter thing. Because I got a lot of followers everywhere else, but I only got 72 goddamn Twitter followers, I think. Something like that. That's insane. So get your butt down to Twitter. The Twitter handle is at TPOT Media on Twitter. That's at TPOT Media. Go ahead, follow us on Twitter, or I will haunt you in your dreams until you're 60. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and most importantly, I want to thank you for coming out watching us, spending some time with us. It is always appreciated. Make sure you have your black behinds here next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for DXL Dark X Live right here on the TPOT YouTube page. I don't know if we're going to do an Hours of Power next week. I'm not sure, because y'all notice I've been doing the Hours of Power like every other week. So I don't know if we're going to do one of those next week, but y'all know we absolutely positively going to do a DXL. If I'm not here on DXL night, you best believe my ass probably dead. So check you out, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time next week, right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. And once again, I want to thank my man, brother TUD, the Underrated Darkness. Go down there, subscribe to his channel. Also, I want to thank my man out in Europe, brother Jay Shine, for coming up and chopping it up with us for a little while, early morning style for him. And also, I want to thank the guest of honor, my man, Dr. Umar Johnson, for coming through and dropping some gems on us tonight. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do. Open your minds, and we are out of here. Y'all. Peace, folks.
only from TV. Open your